Warning! My name's Ben Baker, and I'm here to say I'm the rappingest rapper, and I rap my way. Rap.
Hello, and welcome to Pubcast 111, which we all know is binary for the number 7, which we all know is a song by Prince, which we all know is the greatest musician of all time. Maybe that's debatable. Tristan Ogilvy here. I couldn't think of anything else to say about 111. Can you?
No, so you couldn't think of anything else, so you just went with...
I went with everything.
Yeah, okay.
I want to see you, like go with a Prince reference for every single number.
We'll rename it the Purple Cast.
There's bound to be a way to do it.
Tristan, if we're going to talk about musical genies, you could have said it's only 200 less than 311.
That's right.
Wow.
Of course.
That is pretty good. Yeah.
We've got 200 episodes to build up to that special. Joining me is Luke Riley.
Hey. Sorry, I didn't prepare anything.
Let's start from the top again.
Okay.
No, alongside Luke, Ben Baker.
Hi.
The recently ill but recovered now Ben Baker.
Facially ill.
Facially ill. We'll come back to that in a second.
Mad facial.
Just in the intro sketch. Opposite you, Cam Shea.
Hello.
And, of course, Robo Lobo.
Hello.
What happened to your face?
I slipped on a bathroom towel and
Ouch.
didn't put my arms out and ate shit real hard.
Ouch.
Wow.
The end. I'm a smart guy. Kids, be like me.
Was this like straight up sober, just at home, just walking?
I act safer when I'm drunk.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you probably would have just like fallen, like you would have just ragdolled.
Yeah,
you know,
Australia's funniest home video style. Just
yeah.
Oh, there was like a boing sound effect.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna go. Yeah, and then like one bruised orbital bone later, and then
wait, which one's the orbital bone?
Yeah, I didn't know that there was an orbital bone.
Ah, that's the orbital bone.
Yeah, it can come out if you fracture it.
Jesus.
God.
But yeah, I'm all good. It's been.
I like it how chainsaws, not a problem. Scythes, not a problem. You know, you got like dangerous stuff all over your house. But the biggest danger of all,
just going to
The
brush your
bathroom.
teeth.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lesson in that, kids. Don't shower.
Yeah.
While juggling chainsaws.
It's a real killer is hygiene.
I thought the lesson was don't have water in your house at
That's
all.
true.
I read a really disturbing statistic today that it's something like 4 out of 5 humans in Australia don't shower every day.
Gross.
4 out of 5?
Yeah.
That cannot possibly be correct.
Yeah, that can't
Pretty
be true.
sure.
Although I will say,
I get it. Like we're in a privileged position where we have access to like running water and all that sort of thing. And so yeah, I do get it. It's
There's
just
a bloody drought on Lucy.
I don't know. Yeah, I just sort of I had no idea the statistic.
So
was
they just lick themselves like cats?
Well, no, I think it's more of like a wet wipes kind of dealing.
Oh yeah, in the bathroom at KFC.
No.
I like the idea that you're sitting here.
Specifically KFC.
Your moist towelette.
Yeah, the moist
the refresher towel,
Yeah.
the moist towelette. But you're sitting here being like, only 4 out of 5 Australians don't shower every day. That's disgusting. And then we should all just sit here being like, yeah, that's gross.
Oh, there's 5 of us.
Yeah, but
there's 5 of us.
clearly you do.
Yeah.
Who's the one that... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Lucy.
Well
done, Lucy.
I read, I do, but I read the other day that it's actually better not to. They reckon you should shower once every 2 days.
No.
It's better for your skin.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think you should soap your skin all over every day. That's a really bad idea because it's just going to dry out.
Especially if you trip over in the shower all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like the soap, you slip on the soap. You bend over to pick up the soap.
yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
I spray myself and my dog down in the front yard like every couple days.
You just jump over the sprinkler.
Yeah, we turn the
Sit on
sprinkler
it for a
around.
bit. Yeah.
Do like a little montage with you spraying the hose into your mouth.
Yeah.
We're having so much
just
fun.
like the Pubcast intro.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely set the tone.
It'll be all set to standing tall on the wings.
I was gonna go with like Warrant's cherry pie.
Oh, okay, all right.
Better.
Yeah.
Guys, Prince. It's got to be Prince.
It's got to be Prince.
Gotta be
It'll be
Prince.
Cream by Prince.
Oh, hello.
Let's kick into it. We've got evidently heaps to talk about. Probably won't talk about half of these things. But let's kick into what we've been playing. Luce, I'm going to start with you. I'm not going to call you by your newly coined nickname. Someone else can do that. But you've been playing Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 1, the new episodic Resident Evil game, which you're reviewing for the site.
Yes.
I it starts okay and gets better.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, it's a slow. I would say it's a slow yet promising beginning. It's good.
What do you? Can I ask you? I know the first episode has gone up. Is the second episode under embargo?
The second episode is under embargo, but
okay. I will take back what I just said originally. It starts bad, and that's all we know.
Well, I don't think anyone is gonna. I don't think any of us. I'm not gonna get in trouble for saying that I am enjoying the second episode more.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the first episode, with all of these things, it's really tricky to sort of grade them based on these episodes because it's not like a Telltale game where each episode has a real distinct flavor, and you've got to make some really really sort of important decisions in each episode, and there's a real narrative arc there. This is more like a full game that's been broken up into 4.
Are you writing "This Guy Blows Goats" or something?
I have.
You're writing messages to each other.
Oh, okay, good. That's good. Sorry, Lisa.
Show it to the rest of the class.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. I will say that I find the environments to be incredibly dull.
Yep. I saw that. Yeah.
It's almost like, I understood in the console ports of the original Revelations that the sort of level designs were going to be a little bit boxy
because it's a port of a 3DS game.
Well, it's a port of a 3DS game, right? And in this instance, that excuse isn't, doesn't exist.
It's not even coming out on 3DS.
It doesn't exist. Yeah. They totally skipped.
It's coming out on everything except 3DS.
That's right. And the Wii U as well. They're not doing Wii U.
Understand.
But yeah, I mean, that's probably my biggest complaint so far. I did say that the enemies were a little uninspiring as well. But
so, environment's bad, enemies bad.
And you can't play it on 3DS.
You can't play it on 3DS. But no,
Street Pass hits.
What? It's got a very intriguing story, which I'm enjoying. It's kind of like a Saw-like story. The whole idea is that they're trapped. They've got these bracelets around their wrists, and there's this mysterious sort of overseer.
So they're under house arrest.
Well, essentially, but on a mysterious island.
Right.
Resident Evil, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. There's definitely that vibe. But no, it's definitely off to a promising start. It's just, as I said, it's kind of hard reviewing these things episodically.
Is this game, do you think it, we've kind of spoken about it earlier, but do you think it needed to be episodic?
No, I don't think it did.
Why is it episodic?
Well, I think that, this is the fashionable business model of now. And of course, in the first Revelations, they did sort of break up each chapter into kind of a soap opera style episode. So it began with previously on Revelation. So I kind of get that someone thought, hey, let's take that one step further and actually, split this up. But I will say that considering the price, I think it's super cheap. It's something like $5 or something in the States. I'm not quite sure what that translates to over here.
About 20, probably.
About 20. But
how many episodes are there going to be?
There's going to be 4, but you also get on top of that, you also get the raid mini game.
Oh, I thought you meant the movie. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you also get a copy of the raid on Blu-ray.
That'll shift some units.
Yeah, but no, the raid continues to be. That's another edition. That was in the first Revelations, and it's continued in this one, and it's just got better and deeper. So yeah, I think the raid is great. You get a lot of content for your buck. But yeah, it didn't need to be episodic, but yet at the same time, I don't feel like Capcom is ripping anyone off.
Do you think,
unless you're playing on PC, in which case Capcom is ripping you off.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? They've cut some content out or something?
Well, they've cut offline co-op play and co-op play in the raid mode as well.
Okay.
Which is a real disappointment because co-op play, certainly I'm playing on Xbox One, and that is definitely a highlight of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
I played when
we were capturing for the video review. I played a little bit of co-op with you, and I was the little girl that got to point and shout at things.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
monsters.
Yeah. Actually, I won't.
That's all I could do.
I don't want to break embargo. But certainly, that, I really like the weird power balances because you play as two different. Two pairs, and each one has a really severely gimped character. So especially when you're playing as Moira and Claire Redfield kicks ass. All Moira can do is show she's got a torch. Yeah. That's it. So basically, the way that you've got to play her is you've got to use her as bait. And that's really fun.
That's
I
cool.
mean, that's like a really sort of fun... It's much more... there's much more at stake than when you're just playing with two characters who are totally on an even sort of power level. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's not great yet, but it's getting there, certainly. I had a good time with it.
Do you think the episodic release could just backfire really badly on them? Like 7 out of 10 for the first one?
Well, maybe.
You know, like,
maybe, yeah. I mean,
although I guess if it was the whole game and it was 7 out of 10, then it's still going to turn the same percentage of people off probably, whereas for a low price point to get in and try it, then...
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
it'll work in their favour.
I would love to talk to someone at Capcom to sort of understand exactly, I mean, beyond the obvious for money. You know, I'd really like to understand the reasoning behind splitting it up into 4. Because, I mean, I will say that I do like they're ending each episode on a really strong cliffhanger, and I dig that, and I do appreciate taking a breather and having a little bit of contemplation between those, you know, that kind of...
I think that it might be a more easily distracted audience compared to when these games first came out. That's why I think roguelikes and stuff are so successful right now, because it's bite-sized gameplay.
Yeah.
So if you release... Because Resident Evil 6 was kind of panned, right?
Well, Resident Evil 6, like, I would have understood much more if Resident Evil 6 had been episodic.
Yeah.
Because, like, the tone of Resident Evil 6 was just all over the show. And I think it would have been actually way more widely accepted if it had been episodic.
Okay.
But
Wasn't
no,
Resident
this one...
Evil 6 like 3 games?
Yeah, it's sort of...
Right.
But, and with very different styles of gameplay. Whereas this one really does feel like someone's just come along with a big, like, what are those things you use in art class? Like, where you just...
Guillotine.
A guillotine and just, like, chopped it into 4. I mean, like, there is,
That's
like...
how they do it.
There is a sort of, like... There's a clear narrative arc in each, but it's certainly not enough to justify that kind of division, essentially.
Yeah.
And also because... you know, each episode is actually quite long. It's not like Telltale where you've got, like, say, a 90-minute episode.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about, like, a 4-hour long campaign in each episode plus raid mode.
That is real.
Cam's out. Cam is out.
Totally out. Totally out. I think 90-minute Telltale episode is spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I basically, in a nutshell, I'm enjoying it. It's promising. I don't think it is quite justifying its episodic nature, but I'm enjoying it. So, yeah.
I reckon maybe we should, like, at the end of this whole review process, we should have some kind of, like, horror show. Something like that where you could discuss it as a whole.
I think that's
you
a
know,
great
outside the
idea.
podcast.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
If only we could come
It's
up with a
never gonna
great
happen.
name for it, but never going to happen. Baker's confused.
I am very confused.
Cam, tell me about the Darkest Dungeon, because I watched you playing it the other day and I still don't know what it is.
That's because you watched me for all of 30 seconds,
That's
Tristan.
all. That's my attention span.
Before saying, what smells in here? I have to leave this dank den of iniquity right now.
Yeah.
It is a roguelike that I'm really, really enjoying, and I know that the US guys like it a lot too. But funnily enough, like I saw it pop up on Early Access on Steam, and just the art design really jumped out at me. So I kind of like came to it just because it seemed cool on its own, and then I've since like realized that the US guys are really into it too. But it's this really, really interesting game where you're basically just clearing out dungeons of evil things, right? And you're kind of you are this person who's inherited an estate, and you're basically like paying adventurers, or you bring adventurers in to come in and clear it out of evil. And so they arrive on a stagecoach, like however many at a time, and you send a party of 4 into a dungeon. And the battles are turn-based. It's got a full class system, all that kind of stuff. But the really interesting kind of hook with this game, there's a few actually, but one of the really interesting hooks is that you're not just kind of taking physical damage in the dungeon, you're taking stress damage. So like some characters can be more susceptible to stress than others. There are enemy attacks that like ramp up the stress. And what happens is like there's a stress meter that kind of builds as you're going through these dungeons. And you'll come across artifacts and stuff, and it's all just kind of a roll of the dice stuff. Like some of them will give you, you'll open a chest or something, and or you read a document and you'll get a bonus. Other ones it'll be like the tomb contained unspeakable evils which forever like ruin the hero's psyche, and your stress meter just goes right up. And then like as the stress builds and it hits like 100, the character like flips out basically. And sometimes that results in like a cool kind of perk, but the vast majority of the time the character like has a really there's a negative consequence of it, and so then as you're battling through, that character will be like actually flipping out, and they'll be spouting dialogue and saying random stuff and doing random things, and then that has like a negative effect on the other members of the party as well. So you've got to like monitor not just health but also stress.
Do they ever get like really hysterical and start laugh farting?
Not that I've seen, but I mean, we can only hope.
It's been known to happen.
Yep.
But
Sorry, what's a positive perk that you could come out of going in like too stressed?
like resilience or something.
Oh, okay,
It might be like I'm steeling myself. Like I've had all this stress, but I'm going to steel myself and so you'll have a bonus stat in some area.
Got it. Okay.
But it's also got kind of like a little bit of a rogue legacy style element where there's I don't think they're not called traits; they're called quirks. And characters like who arrive on the stagecoach like will already have a couple of quirks, and they can be positive or negative. So they're either buffs or like it might be like a lower percentage chance to dodge, or lower accuracy, or against a particular monster type they're weaker, or whatever it may be. But the more kind of dungeon runs you go on, the more of these quirks you pick up. And so that then has a profound effect on how that particular class is represented by that character. And then like outside of the dungeons, there's like a town, and there's like a sanatorium where you can send a character and pay to like remove one of the negative quirks.
Right.
And then there's also you can gamble or whore or there's like so you can or pray at the abbey. There's a bunch of different ways to relieve stress as well. And so it's kind of like a week by week thing, right? So you'll go into the dungeon and hopefully emerge victorious. Maybe they all die. Maybe you just bail out of there because you're going to die, and then you have to kind of spend a week trying to lower the stress. But the thing about it is, because it's a roguelike, because it's a roguelike, you kind of don't necessarily need, like, not every character is going to be a character you want to keep around. So you have like a roster of characters, and you kind of have to make hard decisions like, oh, so what if that character's made a successful dungeon run? He's got more negative quirks than positive ones. A new guy of this class has just rocked up who has a better base starting position. I'm far better off just building him up rather than wasting resources trying to fix this other guy.
Right.
But
So
what I found
the
was...
whole game is basically an allegory for, like, relationships, basically.
I didn't read it that way, but I feel no empathy towards other human beings, so maybe that's part of it. But like what I found, like getting into this game in the first place, was that the initial learning curve was quite steep because it doesn't necessarily explain that much to you.
Right.
Because what will happen is you'll get your first 4 adventurers and you'll send them in on a dungeon, and then they might come out of that dungeon all completely insane, and so you're like, oh shit. Like I have to reduce their stress because if I send them back in, there's going to be all these negative effects because they're so stressed out.
Right.
But then you'll realize that the stagecoach has only brought 3 more heroes. And so you're like, oh, like, because it's a week by week thing and it takes a week for them to go and pray or pour or whatever they're doing. So then you're like, okay, well...
Pray whoring? Or?
Yeah, pray whoring.
That's right.
Pray whoring.
Proring.
Wow.
Oh God!
Drawing.
Oh God! Oh God!
So what that means
Thank
is...
you, Jesus.
So what that means is that if you want to do another mission, you have to take one of those characters out. Because
Right.
as far as I'm aware, you can't just kind of skip ahead a week. Maybe you can. Maybe I'm just missing a button. So that essentially like just dooms you to failure. So what you need to understand is that like you actually have enough resources at the very beginning before you even go on your first dungeon run to upgrade the stagecoach so that it brings 4 heroes the next week. So even if the first mission is disastrous, you've got 4 fresh new people who you can throw into a dungeon while the other guys, recuperate or whatever. So that single piece of knowledge just makes the whole early part of the game a lot more straightforward. And so I found the difficulty curve kind of steep at first, but then I got my head around how it's meant to work, and I'm actually really enjoying it now. I mean, I was enjoying it before, but it just seemed pretty punishing. And the other kind of little bit that I want to touch on in terms of the gameplay is it's a 4-person party that you send in, but the gameplay, the turn-based combat, is all about positioning. So each of the moves that each party member is able to do, they can only do from certain like either slot 1, 2, 3, or 4 in terms of the party in a line, right? And each of those moves can attack one of or a certain number of slots. So the enemies are the same. Enemies are in sets of 4. I mean, there can be less enemies, but it's still 4 slots is the kind of mechanic.
Right.
So you basically have to take a party of 4 in where one person is the lead guy, one person is second or third, then another second or third, then like a healer at the back or whatever. So you have to tailor your party to where they can attack from and what they can do from different positions. But then there are enemies that can kind of attack you and switch the order of people around. And so you might like have to spend a couple of turns just changing the order because nobody can do anything from the positions they've found themselves in. And then there's also like taking characters in who can like pull like a ranged enemy at the back of the pack to the front so you can just smash it in the face and kill it immediately rather than it kind of whittling you away from the back line.
Right.
So it's really clever. Like it's a really good system, and I'm really enjoying it. There's it's like 10 classes or so. I've really only scratched the surface. I've played for a few hours now, but yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's in early access, and the early part of the game seems really polished.
What I'm hearing,
So you can't download it.
Oh yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
You
Remember your resolution.
you already went back on that, so it's fine. Just do it.
What I'm hearing is that you are sick of Hearthstone. How have you found time to play a non-Hearthstone
I have
game?
certainly prioritized this over Hearthstone for last week.
That is
Whoa.
big, that is
Wow.
big news.
Whoa.
But yeah, like there's this really like kind of serious, like gravelly kind of like narration as you do stuff, and it's the art direction. Yeah, the art design's like
so it's pretty
kind of
straight-faced.
hand drawn and cool, and like the combat's quite simple, but there's just these zoom ins with the attacks, and it's really nicely presented.
So it's kind of like a straight-faced game, not really kind of. There's no sense of humor to it or anything, or
Well, there's a morbid sense of humor to it for sure.
that's one of my
The
favorites.
best
Yeah.
kinds of senses of humor.
Yeah, there's definitely a morbid sense of humor to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like it, so definitely one to check out.
Nice
Yeah.
one. I will talk just very quickly about I'll have to talk quickly about it because it's so short. The Order 1886, which
Zing.
came zing.
Have you finished it?
I think I stole Lucy's joke then. I have not finished it actually,
Right.
but I played about 2 hours of it, which is about 75%. The Order 1886 obviously came out a week or two ago, I think. PlayStation 4 exclusive. Still not the PlayStation 4 exclusive that we've been waiting for, unfortunately.
Sound shapes too.
Has
It's not
any
going to happen, man.
That's right.
I've heard so many people. I mean, I think obviously since the reviews dropped, and they were all pretty mediocre.
Across the board. pretty
Across
much.
the board.
Yeah.
But I've had a
No
lot.
one. Yeah, a few people hated it. It's just kind of a.
Yeah, it's just sort of like it
Yeah.
exists,
Yeah.
basically. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people almost, when something is just generally like, and it sort of gets 5 and 6s on Metacritic and stuff like that.
Yep.
Often you'll see a reaction to that from people who really wanted it to be good, especially
course.
when it comes to exclusives.
Yep.
Of course.
So I don't know, that might be really cynical of me, sort of putting it down to that. But I have seen a lot of people like saying, "Oh, people were so hard on this game. It's actually really good." And
Well, I
it's
mean-
it's really just because it's short and cinematic doesn't mean it's a bad experience.
I mean, for me, like the length is not an issue. Like,
Right.
I like short games, and I got my copy for free, so it's no big deal. But I think the cinematic experience is the problem. I mean, the game opens with a QuickTime event, and like it's a while until you actually get to do anything of any kind of agency. I don't like that style of game. Some people do. Like I remember arguing with Slambrex a lot because he likes very cinematic games because he's a big movie buff and he likes games to be like movies.
So did he like Beyond Two Souls?
I think he drew the line at that. I mean, he's not an idiot. But some people do like that. And the Call of Duty games are to a point kind of like that as well. They're very linear and you sort of funneled along. But I think that the Order is just not that interesting a game. That's part of the problem. Is the story's
Right.
not. It has quite an interesting premise, but it doesn't really. Well, from what I've played, it doesn't really go anywhere. But visually, it's fucking amazing. Like it's an amazing looking game, which is, I guess.
But it's look,
Easy-
don't touch, right?
Yeah, it's easier to do when you have a really linear corridor and you're presenting it in a half the resolution of the screen.
Oh my god! The letterboxing is insane for a cover-based shooter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
You can't see below your shoulders.
I'm going to hide behind cover and be unable to see over cover.
Yeah.
That's the most retarded design decision. And I mean, to me, it's like, remember the old days, early days of computer games and arcade. Well, it wasn't arcade games; it was computer games, home computer games, where they would have like this massive HUD and stuff, and it was all just like because they couldn't display the game at the full resolution of the monitor.
Yeah.
Is that just what this is? Like they're like, well, instead of 1920 by 1080, we only have to do 1920 by fucking 800 or some shit. Is that the reason? I want to know.
I don't know. I'm not
Luke,
sure.
you're a developer.
Yeah.
Is that the reason? By the way, Luke, you're a developer is how I'm going to start a lot of sentences this cast.
Luke, you're a developer?
Well, I feel like the game might appeal to me slightly more if they were wearing cricket uniforms. So I could, once I get in there,
Yep.
and
mod it up,
start modding.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you got the latest Big Bash sponsorship
Yes,
logos
that's
on
exactly
there.
what I'll need to
There's a
do,
lot of
and then I'll
KFC
be able
in
to
there.
tell you, dig around the code. I'll be able to tell you the ins and outs. Well, but on a more serious note, that is kind of the case, right? When you free up headroom with lines of resolution, you get more fidelity, right? You get more. You can do more stuff.
You tell me, John Carmack.
Hey.
Luke
There's
Riley's
no need to
gonna
go that
whip
far.
your ass. Was it Luke Riley's going to make you his bitch?
Luke Romero Riley.
Or you can present more detail but retain the frame rate. Or
I think
something.
that is the case.
Yeah. Which is locked at 30.
Oh, that's not 60, so people will not be happy.
Well, I mean, it's trying to go for. I mean, it should be like 24 if it wants to be really cinematic, right? Because that's the kind of look that it.
That's
is
something.
going
Actually,
for.
that's something that Ready at Dawn mentioned a few times, and a lot of people hold them over the coals for that. And I don't agree with the kind of bashing when devs come out and say, "Oh, we wanted it to be more cinematic, so we went for 30." It's like, I agree that you probably just should be more straight up and just say, "No, we wanted it to look awesome." So we went for 30. Sorry, we know you like 60. We want
It's such a cop-out to say cinematic.
Just say straight up. It's like, no, we like it. We like it looking like this.
Yep.
And for it to look like this, it has to be 30.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean, I think
you
that,
don't really
like,
have any comeback. You got to go. Okay, cool. Well,
I think that the Resident Evil Revelations 2 is a really good argument for why 60 frames per second isn't necessarily like the holy grail for video games.
so is it because that's 60?
Well,
and it doesn't look anywhere near as good as something like...
No, absolutely, yeah. It's
Well,
sort of...
it's got kind of low res textures.
Yeah,
I think.
It's current gen, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
it's current...
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
She's playing it on an Xbox One.
I'm playing... Yeah,
Oh.
playing it on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. No,
It's
yeah.
kind of lowest common denominator kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Built for
it doesn't look terrible. It's just it's very unspectacular.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are so obsessed, and we'll get into this later because I see it being brought up in our news discussions. But people are so
definitely going to go
obsessed
through every news piece.
with numbers, and without really, I think, comprehending sometimes what those numbers actually mean and what they actually translate to. So
I just think, these guys previously have only done PSP or PS Vita games, aside from a port of their own game to PS3, a God of War game.
Yep.
And I think that they just got to the PS4 hardware and was like, fuck yeah, look at the graphics! Look at the graphics! Let's hire 100 more dudes and make graphics! But the actual game, they didn't actually scale their kind of game mechanics up to a sort of more sophisticated level, I don't think.
Yeah, right.
I pretty much tap out at third-person cover-based shooter.
Well, you say
Like-
that, and I respect that, but playing this game kind of made me yearn for a new Gears of War game, because I like Gears of War for the first couple, and I was like, that was cover-based shooters done pretty well, I think.
I agree, but it wasn't the cover-based shooting that I... Well, I mean...
You like the graphics!
No. Like, they had some cool set pieces, they had some cool ideas in there, but that did wear thin on me.
Right.
Like, just any game where you spend time just waiting in cover, I'm not interested in.
Right.
Mass Effect 3.
Not interested.
Really?
No, I liked it, but I wouldn't like go back and play. What I'm saying is, nowadays,
Right.
I have played enough of that style of game that I do not want to play it again,
Yeah.
unless they're bringing something really interesting to the table.
It's kind of had its day.
It has. It feels really
We
old
like
school to
roguelikes
me.
now at 60 frames per second. It's 2015.
I'm pretty sure that Darkest Dungeon runs at 120.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, which is the BPM I like as well. So, BAM! It's got it all.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I only like games like I like my BPMs at 120.
The order. Better luck next time. There might be a next time. I think it's selling okay. I don't have any figures.
Well,
to
I mean,
hand.
what?
I think
What
people-
else is out right now?
Good point. It's good time of the year to release a bomb. Just kidding.
What, it's not a good time?
But it doesn't. But it doesn't have multiplayer or anything, does it?
No, it doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
And
at
it doesn't
all.
have any branching paths or.
No, super linear. 5 to 7 hours or whatever. I don't know. I don't
feel
care.
like
Yeah.
a dick because I bailed on it because it looked steampunky, and that's not my
Ah.
thing.
It's definitely steampunky.
Yeah, I didn't want to fuck
Well,
with
you
that.
know.
I kind of like the
Yeah,
vibe of it
I like the setting and the
because it's
the-
different.
Yeah, and some of the guns. Well, yeah, on the
Can you do any whoring?
How about it pray?
only if you pray afterwards.
Yeah.
But I like some of the weapons are kind of cool because they're, there's like the thermite rifle where you kind of fire these gas rounds with the primary fire.
Yep.
To sort of cloak someone in gas.
Yeah. Oh, and then you.
You fire this sort of, I don't know, flaming bullet to ignite them. I mean, I like with the secondary.
Yeah.
That
stuff.
feels very Unreal Tournament-y.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. And
Feels like they've taken a sort of a page out of Insomniac with
Yeah,
a
big
little,
time.
Yeah.
some creative weapons.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
With like
and I guess.
painkiller and stuff, or
Yeah.
yeah, pain. Sorry, yeah.
They took a lot of painkillers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no pain.
Once the reviews started hitting.
It's not.
Sorry, what?
Well, yeah, and it's not a sequel. At least it's not a sequel. Not yet. There'll probably be a sequel to it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's keep rolling. Just quickly, I'm only going to play Zelda games from now on. Let's move on.
How are you enjoying Majora? And what do you think Majora's Mask should be a euphemism for, Tristan?
We had a conversation this morning about first thing this morning, actually, before breakfast even.
Yep.
Before
about,
Lucy's breakfast, which she left up here on the ground.
Yes, well, she did do that. I don't know why.
Oh,
guess-
Brecky Slux O'Brien.
yeah. At least she didn't leave it on her pants. But we were talking about how Majora's Mask would be a good name for a G-string or a ladies.
Well, you said that it would be a good euphemism for a G-string, and then I said, well, G-strings don't really need a euphemism, in which case we need to come up with an alternate thing for which Majora's Mask could be a euphemism for.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking of because Club Nintendo's about to shut down, and they're sort of just pushing out these remaining products. And I think a line of Nintendo intimates for women, starting with the Majora's Mask, which a lady could wear on her Majora bits, would be a good starting point. And then I had nowhere.
doesn't have to be a G-string.
I had literally nowhere to go from
Yeah.
there. But I don't know what you'd get for what sort of
Wait,
Nintendo
like-
bra, like the mushroom cups.
I'm pretty
or
sure they
something.
do. That a Nintendo bra does exist.
Well,
Sure,
you
surely it
tell
does. I
me.
mean, we live in 2015. I'm sure someone has
An
created.
official Nintendo bra.
Oh,
Shouldn't Majora's Mask be like a chastity belt or something?
I guess so.
Like,
like a wooden
Because like
chastity
a
belt.
because a
That's a
G-string's not necessarily masking that much. Like
well, exactly.
yeah.
I didn't really think it through that much. It was
Yeah.
very much
I didn't
an
think
offhand
I
remark.
didn't think through my suggestion that I thought Ocarina of Time should be a cod piece.
But I still liked it.
Yeah.
I still liked it. Anyways, but no, the reason we were talking about that was because I was saying how
Hey, let's go through other Zelda games.
Well, we all know what the Wind Waker is.
yeah.
It's a butt toy.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Wind Waker, I reckon Lucy might have a good story for
Hey,
us.
moving on. Moving on. Luke, you've seen some things recently.
Tell us a joke, Lucy.
I did just want to say just before that I've decided to only play Zelda. Zelda is my Hearthstone. I'm only going to play Zelda games from now on, until I have to Stop it. Until I have to. I obviously have to play games from time to time for work. But I am playing Ocarina right now. I'm going to play G-String of Time after that. And then I'm going to play Skyward Sword because I never actually played that. That's the one Zelda game I never played. But I bought it when it came out on the Wii.
That's a good sex toy. The Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I already... the reason I didn't play it when I got it was because I was so disgusted by the Wii's graphical resolution, not so much the art design or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably play the Wind Waker HD remake, even though you can't invert the camera. I'll just
surely
suck it up.
they've
I'll
patched.
just suck
Surely
it up.
they've patched
Well,
that by
do
now.
Nintendo
Surely.
patch things? I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
they
do.
have. Maybe they have. But yeah, that's going to be the backbone of my gaming this year. It's going to be like my year in adventure, like Costa style, but just Zelda adventures. Anyway, Luke.
Well,
what
speaking
have
of
you been up to?
Speaking of what, you're only going to play Zelda games. I've decided that I'm only going to play games that were made before 2003.
There's a lot of Zelda games that came out before then.
Well,
Some of the best ones.
not those.
Most of the best
Oh,
ones.
that's disappointing.
Yeah. And speaking of games that you can't invert the camera, here's one, right? I'll make this quick. I've bought 5 games in the past 3 weeks, and I've spent $29, and none of them have been less than 12 years old. One of them was Shane Warne Cricket, 99, because I was spewing that I lost it. So I spent $2. I bought that for $2.
Holy shit, that's a bargain.
On
Which
eBay
one was
or?
Shane? Was that on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation?
On the original PlayStation.
And was
came out
it
Christmas
called-
1998.
It's called Brian Lara in the...
You know what? I played the shit out of that back in the day.
Because it
Yeah.
was...
What was it called in New Zealand?
Well, no, I got it.
It was
I
called
bought it.
Richard had. So Richard.
I bought it
Hadley's-
when-
Richard Hadley's
No.
cricket fantastic.
Shut your faces. I bought
Martin
it.
Crow's cricket.
I bought it when I was visiting family in the UK. So it was Brian Lara cricket
Yeah,
to me.
it was Brian Lara.
I think it was Brian Lara cricket everywhere except for here, right?
Yeah, it was Brian Lara cricket everywhere else except for here.
That was a good cricket game.
Um,
Plus the only cricket game I've ever played.
Arguably the best. I mean, Dodd Bradman is
It's
probably shades it, but
It's in the top 1 cricket games.
It's in the top
and
one.
I bought
Stay tuned for that microsite.
and I bought a few other games. I bought Project Gotham Racing 2 for some reason, and a few other things.
Right.
But I bought this game that I really loved when I was younger. It was called Prisoner of War. It was a Codemasters game, and I started playing it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was a really good game at
You
the
weren't
time.
that young then, were you?
No, I was like, I don't know, 21, 22.
Yep, okay.
20
It's
something.
all right. It's all right. Yep.
And I started playing it, and it's insane. And I must have adjusted at the time because I distinctly remember finishing the game, beating it, and going, "Oh, that was a great game," and then never owning it. But you can't not only can you not invert the camera, right? You can't move the camera up or down. It's a third-person game. It's a stealth game. It's actually really good, and I'll explain why on another occasion. Because it's a completely non-violent stealth game. You don't do anything.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to escape from this prisoner of war camp. Several, actually. But you can't move the camera up and down. But the y-axis is inverted, and you cannot uninvert it. So you know how when you play some third-person games, and you get the option to invert the y-axis and the x-axis? And I think to myself, who the fuck is doing that? Like, who the fuck wants to, like, flick the stick to the left and then look right?
I hate that. I hate that.
I've inverted. Well, so I get confused about which way I want the x-axis to function. So I like having that option so I can try it the other way and then go, oh, no. no, that's definitely
right,
not
yeah.
right.
But it's like the way that I've always differentiated between the two is like where you imagine the thumbstick is on the person's head. So if you invert it, you imagine the thumbstick's on the back of their head. So you pull it down, the head turns up.
Yep.
Of course.
I operate the other way, regular, where you put on the thumbsticks on the front of the face, you press up, the head goes up.
Yep, that's
If-
right.
if
I'm the
only
same.
The head is the thumbstick, you idiot.
Yeah.
I'm
back to
totally
you.
the same.
But if you've got the thumbstick on the back of the head, pushing it to the left should make your head turn right. So
No, but no.
regular wins.
no.
I agree.
I imagine
It's very cool to invert, but I'm just gonna say it's like
You guys
non-inverted rule.
cool.
I-
No, but it's
Axis hip
it's like being a PC gamer. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
no,
it's
no.
like you're cool if you invert.
Wait,
You're cool if you play PC.
It's not about being cool. It's not about being cool. It's about having a legacy of playing video games that goes back to a time when
Here we
that
go.
was
We got
the
a
fucking
prop.
normal way to do
we
it.
got a prop now. No, so No, I imagine it's on the front of the head. So when you look up, you still need it to go back so you can look up.
No. But if this was on the front of your head and I pushed up, your head would tilt up, right? So this is on the front. And if I
use
go,
my head as a controller.
I go up, push up.
No, but you're not pushing up. You're pushing that way.
You're behind the character.
You're behind the character.
The stick is.
Anyway,
you
can't.
This will be great for people listening and not watching.
You can't change it, which is crazy. I was like, oh shit, how do I adjust to this? And I must have done it at the time. But yeah, there's all these games. Wasn't there a Silent Hill game that forgot to have that option?
Yeah, there was actually.
I would not have the patience to adjust these days. As a younger man, clearly without a full-time job, I did. But now I'm like, oh man.
Well, you know what's weird?
I paid $19. It was the most expensive one that I bought because the guy's like,
so sorry, Luke.
The guy's like, is this price right? He's like, yeah, the rarer ones are more expensive. I'm like, really? I was like, but I really wanted this one. And I paid $2 for fucking Chain War Cricket and Project Gotham. But yeah,
$2.
Yeah.
I used to invert, which is weird. I used to invert.
You're a trader.
And then I was just like, hang on, this makes no sense.
No, it makes it. No, that you can't even. How can you say that?
Moving on.
I actually feel like I am. I think I'm a bit of
way
a.
to win every episode.
Welcome to my home life.
I think I'm an ambiverter because I think I can adapt to normal controls. Like if I'm at a game demo or something and they don't have the invert controls yet.
I spit on the controller and I leave.
But I can actually, I feel like I can adapt to it okay.
I don't know about with the controller, but with the mouse, absolutely no way.
Right.
I had to play Battlefield 4 at Gamescom a couple of years ago.
Well, there's your first problem.
Yeah. like a series that I'm no good at to begin with, and yeah, they're like, yeah, if we invert the mouse, these 32 machines, it could crash. And so I was like, great, awesome. And so I just wandered around and just looked at stuff.
Right.
It was shit. So anyway, that's why I gave it 5 out of 10.
Luke, just quickly before Baker, you're just blank on purpose. There's nothing you've been playing.
Binding of Isaac.
I've been playing. Yeah, I've been building a backyard and playing Binding of Isaac in my spare time. It has pushed through to the camshay sickening levels of obsession. I've clicked over to about 130 hours now.
Is this Binding of Isaac Rebirth?
Yes.
What's the deal? What's the difference between that?
New engine.
I think you might have missed
new
that
graphics.
Yeah, I might have missed that podcast.
It's a bigger version of the original game in every single way.
Binding of Isaac, is that a biblical thing?
It's got weird undertones and stuff.
It sounds
when you
like
say
it
weird,
sounds
do
like
you
a
mean
biblical thing.
Overt?
Has it got a lot of praying?
Is this a religious game? Are you playing a Christian game?
Are you a Christian?
It goes both sides of the fence.
He dresses like a Christian.
Yeah.
You do. You dress like a straight edge Christian.
I'm a straight edge Christian. Anybody watching this video can attest to that. Yeah, no, it's. I've moved into that point where now I've become obsessed with item synergies and learning the different characters' traits and then being like, this is good for this person. I'm gonna do this run and actually watching other people play the game.
You lost me at item synergies.
You've definitely reached Cam levels of obsession.
Yep.
It's a surprisingly complex and deep game. And yeah, it's one of those ones where you're like, I've finished it, and then it's like, no, there's a whole nother level to this that you haven't. And then again, every single run is different, and I can play it in 20 to 40 minutes or an hour and a half depending on the run. And yeah, so just pick it up, play it, and then put it back down again, and go put some more palings back up on a fence. So yeah, that's been it. I really want to play Darkest Dungeon.
Yep.
And I played some weird Grecian.
Oh, Apotheon,
yeah,
or whatever it's
played
called.
that for about
I checked that out a little bit.
seconds because it was from PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. I've downloaded that but not played it yet. But it looks great.
It's a side-scrolling Greek 'em up.
Greek 'em up.
Yeah,
it's okay.
A Greek 'em up.
It's a side-scrolling Greek 'em up. That's the only thing I thought about. I was like, I'm gonna refer to it that, and I'm done. Sometimes you fight a goat dude with his dick out. I don't mind it. It's fun.
Okay, well,
yeah,
definitely
it's
playing it tonight then. Just quickly before we move into the news blast, Luke, you've been watching some movies.
I have. And before we move on, Kingsman was great, and John Wick is fucking awesome.
I love John Wick.
Yeah, I want to see both of those.
Yeah. So I heartily recommend both of them. And surprisingly similar.
Really?
Sometimes.
What? They're both about revenge tales from the dog getting murdered?
No. Is this? I saw John Wick first. I saw John Wick first, and then I went and saw Kingsman.
Mm-hmm.
And just the action sequence, like the attitudes and the tone of each are entirely different. But the action sequences where people are getting taken down and shot and like wrestled and spun around and with leg locks and crazy shit,
Leg locks.
surprisingly similar.
Okay.
Yeah, really kind of really a lot of gun fu, athletic takedown kind of stuff, which
Do
I
you
really
mean Gun
liked.
Carter?
Well, like you mean like Equilibrium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the Christian Bale gun karate.
Not quite
with
like that.
With weighted clips and
Not quite like that.
axes and stuff.
Yeah, not quite that
Okay.
odd.
That's a shame.
Even
Hey,
though I actually liked Equilibrium.
You know, they
Me
too.
they banned the Mona Lisa, so we invented gun karate.
No, it's good. Both of them.
Equilibrium.
Very good.
All right. Awesome.
I really like John Wick. It reminded
So
me of the
good.
first Taken movie when I first saw that. And I was
Wow.
like, this is fucking sick. And then the next two sucked. But yeah.
Have you seen that?
It's nice to see Keanu out and about.
What's that
Yeah,
movie with
so
Liam
many
Neeson
headshots.
on the plane?
Sorry?
I saw it like
Non-stop.
yeah. Did
Haven't
you
seen
guys?
that.
It's quite enjoyable in a
What's-
really schlocky way.
Non-stop. Is
Yeah,
that a Keanu movie?
No, it's a Liam
That's a
Neeson
Liam
movie.
Neeson movie.
So it's taken on a plane, is it?
Yeah, well, it's
Little
sort
bit.
of.
Taken off.
But I-
Boom! Blah, 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 blah. John Wick, John Wick, John Wick.
I do enjoy a good things are going wrong on a plane movie, and I will say that Non-Stop is one of the better ones.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's not bad.
Is it better than Airplane? That's
I was
not-
going to
No.
say I like titties on a plane.
Nothing is better than Airplane.
Is it
That
better
is
than-
one of my
It's,
favorite
it's no
films.
Passenger 57.
Oh,
Is it better
okay.
than Soul Plane?
No. All right.
Well, no one's seen it, so we wouldn't know. Let's move into the news. Before we do, quick thank you and shout out to absolutely everyone who came to our BBSA Awards the last week.
Almost everyone.
Yeah, I broke my face.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't there.
You weren't there.
Thanks. there in
for
spirit
not,
and
no.
you were
I'd like
face
to.
down
I'd
in
like
the
to thank
shower.
Baker for not coming.
Uh,
That was really nice of you, man.
Your artwork was everywhere.
Yeah,
though,
genuine thank
Yeah.
you
Sorry, I
for the
wasn't there
artwork,
to
which was
accept my
excellent.
award for sickest cunt ever.
We will be asking you to do more art for us next year.
Sick.
The art was great.
It was so good.
I
dude.
promise not to fall over and break my hands before
Yeah,
that.
but it was.
But you know why that happened? God hates you.
That's true. But I am dressed like a straight edge Christian.
And you've played The Binding of Isaac. Jesus.
What else
Cut
do
cut
you
him some
want,
slack.
you infernal bastard?
But it was an awesome event, so
For a
thank
second
you.
there, I thought you were going to say, you infernal boss. And I was like, yes.
You infernal boss. Thank you everyone that came along. It was awesome. Thank you very much. Let's move on to. Hey, Luke, you like Forza, but do you like Fast and the Furious?
I don't dislike Fast and Furious.
Oh,
that's-
hello, closet fan.
Diplomatic
yeah.
answer. What's the deal with this pack? You get cars from the films and Paul Walker.
No, I think it's got Ludacris in it,
Oh, okay.
doing
Even
some
better.
VO.
I thought Paul Walker would live on in DLC.
No, I don't think it's got
that's
anybody
so
else from
bleak.
the. Yeah, I don't think it's got anything else from the films or anything. I don't know all the details yet, but it's kind of like a standalone download that's set in the world of Forza Horizon 2. The cars are themed from the film, so I think one or two of them are kind of new. The others would have already appeared in the game, but they'll look different in this one. So I think Forza already had a Dodge Charger, but when you see the Fast and Furious movies, it's always like black with a big,
Diesel.
like engine mods and
Oh,
kind of stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Are they
so
going to have the really embarrassing to today's
big intake
standard,
and-
that, like all the neons and shit, the Chinese dragon designs and stuff that were in the first
well, I don't know.
movies?
I saw the list and I saw the Supra on there, so maybe that was from the first film.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure. I mean, those films are kind of evolved from those like kind of street racing, rice rocket kind of things to like heist films.
Yeah, The Rock is.
Yeah,
just
now
in
The
it
Rock
now.
is like helping them steal money and shit. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, they've turned into heist
I haven't
films.
seen a single one.
Neither have I.
I saw the
Because
first one.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of them because aren't they kind of just Point Break?
The
But
first one was
with
Point
cars?
Break with
Right.
cars, and
Haven't they all been that, or are they
honestly,
different?
I can honestly say I enjoyed that at the time. It was totally fine at the
It's
time.
a good formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was Point Break. Point
And
Break's
I
a great movie.
do like Vin Diesel.
I grew
gotta
up on
say.
that shit. I'm super into it.
Yeah, I like the original The Fast and the Furious when that came out. When was that? Was that like 2000 or
Yeah.
something?
So long ago.
Yeah, so long ago, and I was quite young. I would have been working like at the video store at the time, and I remember really enjoying it. I've got it at home, but the second one I actively didn't like at all. The third one, I kind of, honestly, I've only seen the third one once, but a lot of people say the third one grows on people because the third one felt kind of really disassociated from the others, and at the time it was, but now they've done this weird thing where because all the billions since have all been leading up to the third one.
Right.
Okay.
Because the third one's actually set after all these other ones we've been
Oh
watching recently.
my god.
It came out a week after September 11.
Yeah, right.
Those
such a long time ago.
bastards.
I just didn't put those two things together.
And they keep bringing back...
That's a
I
weird
will-
little factoid.
I will always think
Because
of
I remember
national
loving that movie when it
tragedies.
came out, but it was like I remember my whole life was shaken by 9/11, and then and then 2 weeks later, I guess
You're
it
like,
was,
woo, cars!
Fast and Furious, woo, Hollywood.
But it's a funny one because the kind of it's so
woo, Hollywood.
it's strangely obsessed with its own continuity, which I kind of admire, I guess, for a kind of a pretty vapid film series over the span of 15 years, and they're still bringing back people from the first movie, and then
Like Tyrese will show back up, and everybody be like, "Oh my god!"
oh,
and
he
everybody
appeared in the
watching-
second one, which everyone hated.
Everybody's watching. It's like I don't remember this dude at all.
Yeah,
It's
but
been-
they kind of
it's
So
been
I don't
9
know.
years.
But it feels like a good fit, and it's free download.
Oh, well,
And you
that's okay. That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
And you didn't even
Alright.
need Horizon 2
No,
to play it.
you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I actually,
completely standalone.
like as somebody who's never seen the films, I also think this is actually the right way to do a tie-in.
Yeah,
Like,
it feels.
it feels like because really like the way this should work is that the people who want to promote Fast and Furious are the ones who foot the bill. Really,
I imagine
like,
they are. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's like we're going to make this happen, so you guys like have some Fast and Furious like content. They partner up with somebody who's already got a great game. Like it's like
It's
like
exactly like
Broforce.
Broforce.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I
Yeah,
was going to say.
Broforce.
So the
Yeah.
Expender Bros was a free download
John
up
Wick
until
was-
December last year. Because that's the thing. It's going to be like free for the first 2 weeks, and then after that it will be paid.
Yeah, but it's like $10.
But it's
or
$10.
something.
It's
Yeah.
like, but you can't. You just can't complain about that.
Yeah.
John-
Just download it when it's free.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even if it isn't, like Playground will be like, well, people will pay $10, see our world, and then like come across and get the whole game.
Yeah, the whole game. Yeah.
Wait, so has anybody? You still haven't played the Alien Infestation?
I haven't got to it. See,
Okay.
that's the thing. I downloaded all the updates for Broforce.
Yeah.
And I think that Alien Infestation stuff is part of the campaign. I think.
Okay.
So
you gotta
I've-
get up to a certain point.
Yeah,
to
so I'm still
unlock it,
like
or-
plowing through these levels. Are all like set in Vietnam. So I'm
Yeah.
still trying to plow for these levels. I can't see like an Alien Infestation mode.
Because that's a cool kind of spin-off as well.
Oh, it's so good.
I
Yeah.
want to see
I
just-
unlocked Double Bro 7 though.
Just quickly
Ben,
on that.
what would you like?
On the free movie tie-in thing, and
Yeah.
like this is how it should be done. The character John Wick is in Payday 2.
Yes!
Free download. It has a whole skill tree. It's actually quite a significant update. And yeah, it's for free. And I was like, John Wick, and then when I saw the movie,
Yeah. You're
I-
like, John Wick!
blah blah blah, John Wick, wick.
Wick, 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 wick.
Well, it's more like this. It's more like dut. When
Yeah,
it's
he's
John
really
Wick.
good.
Oh, wait, nuts shot first?
Yeah, John Wick
Boom,
misses like
boom.
literally like 2 shots in the whole film, and he
Right.
shoots like 1,000 people in the face.
Yeah.
But it's weird, right? Like, you know, we live in an age of pervasive advertising. You know, obviously IGN like has, you know, advertising is like a core part of like, you know, making the site happen. But it's weird when like stuff like resonates with us and we just go, that's actually a really good fit. You know, that's when you know they're doing it right. Most of the time I'm just angry.
Well, it just feels logical. Like
I
people
think,
have
I
been.
think we had this conversation back when there was that whole Mario Kart
Oh, the
Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes
Oh,
thing. And we were
yes.
saying that's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
And I think at the time the Broforce thing had come out, and
But if
Yeah.
Vin Diesel was in Mario Kart 8, you'd be like, I'm in.
Yeah. No, totally.
I mean, fucking, even if you gave him the Mercedes, just put Vin Diesel in every video game.
Yeah, get him to do voiceovers for every character in every game, please.
I can get behind that.
Hey man, when I'm playing Darkest Dungeon from now on, I'm going to be imagining that narrator is Vin Diesel. Because he's got that kind of thing going on. Sexy.
I just haven't. I never watched Fast and Furious from the outset, and I haven't bothered to catch up because each film is titled just slightly different to the other film. It's like just try and Google us, motherfucker, because you won't be able to find. Is the new film Fast and Furious? Is that
Fast 7?
The new film
it's called
is
Fast 7.
Furious 7, isn't it?
No,
Furious 7.
Fast and Furious 7 Hill Special.
Yeah, I would say like they have to be sitting there going, we really regret the ugliness of our naming.
Yeah, they painted
scheme.
themselves into a corner after the first few films.
Well, after the first two, it was like Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's right.
And then we had the spin-off with the colon, which was Tokyo Drift. And then they went to, what was it? And then it was Fast and Furious.
Yep.
And then
Fast 5.
Fast 5 overseas, but I think it was Fast and Furious 5 here.
Yep.
And then
Fucking hell, man.
Fast and Furious 6.
Oh, my eyes are bleeding
and
right
now
now.
Furious 7.
Fury Road.
Yeah. I don't know.
Whereas in the olden days, Airplane 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Naked Gun 33 and a third.
Exactly.
That's right.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Although, Then Airplane was called Flying High in different too. That was a clusterfuck.
It was just called Flying High 2 here.
Yeah, fucking hell, man.
Boo. Moving on.
Okay, moving on.
News Blast.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
News Blast. News research shows why players choose Xbox or PlayStation. Or does anyone know anything about that?
Resolution.
Yeah, weird.
Oh well, that's a shocker.
For PS4.
No, I
It's not a
just thought it
shocker
was
at
a
all.
beat up. No, I was honestly surprised. I just thought everyone was just banging on about that, and it was not a thing.
Yeah, it was the vocal minority.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
like the hardcore.
Numbers care to these. Like, numbers matter to everyone.
Hey, we're all obsessed with metrics, am I right?
But is this
It was
something-
literally
is
the
this something-
first point.
Is this something that you
Better
choose-
resolution is why they choose PS4.
But is that something you choose even if you don't know the number? Are they like, what do you like out of these two? And then you go, that one looks better. I want that one.
No.
Is that?
This-
So
It's all about the number.
No.
You can't measure it with your eyes.
No.
No, you can't. It's about the sort of what they've heard that
Oh,
PlayStation
okay.
4 has better graphics.
oh, okay.
I mean, that is the most like layman kind of narrative, I guess, going
Yeah.
on between these two consoles.
So why do people buy Wii U's, Luke?
They buy
Because
Wii
their name
U's.
is Lucy O'Brien.
Because
Yeah.
they're dedicating their
Yeah.
lives to Zelda.
This is and like we should mention off the top. This is from a Nielsen survey.
Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick.
Yes. Number 1, fun factor for Wii U. 2, better for kids. 3, price.
Yep.
4, backwards compatibility.
Wait. I thought that original games was like...
5, exclusive games.
Oh. Okay, because... Yeah, I, mean,
Content.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what I thought was interesting was that PS4, one of the reasons was the game catalog, and then one of the reasons for Xbox One was, I think, exclusives. Is that correct?
Yeah, the third.
Whereas-
It's the third reason for. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like the second reason for the PS4 is that Blu-ray player. Well, the Xbox One's a Blu-ray
No,
player.
but I think that's the thing is like when I read that, I was like, wow, that legacy kind of.
It's a legacy, right?
Yeah, because it's like PlayStation, had DVD and it had Blu-ray, and so people had this expectation that like this is like it's not just games. It's like that's the thing with my Xbox One platform is like Microsoft pushed it so hard as this entertainment thing, but Sony already kind of had their foot in there where like, oh, you want a Blu-ray player, you get our system, and then you can play games too, and it's like they already had that like idea in people's heads. I think
There was this hilarious. Someone tweeted out this hilarious picture under the caption, my sort of God, what do they call it? Like time zone, like arcade has the worst possible prize ever, and it was a Xbox HD player,
yeah.
hanging,
HD DVD.
like the HD DVD player,
Yeah, I
like
got one of
hanging
those.
as the top prize.
I sat there and I thought about that. It's like, if you won that, what would you
yeah.
do with
Yeah.
it?
I know what I did with my HD DVD player. I threw it in the bin.
I've still got mine.
Hanging on to that.
It's the only way I can watch Titanic.
I think they deserve. Like I don't know. I just specifically remember mentioning it to some of you, but probably not all of you. But that legacy sort of holdover from the PS3, where people buy it because they think they can watch films on it. It's the best way to do that. I think some of that's deserved when you look at it these days. Because when I was saying that I put a DVD in my Xbox One, and I got a lot of DVDs.
Yep.
And I went to watch DVD, and I thought it looked kind of rubbish. I was looking at it, I'm like, this just looks like a fucking YouTube video.
Right.
Like,
Right.
And I just thought it wouldn't be like this, because I'd been so used to watching DVDs on my PS3. I'm like, I don't remember them looking this terrible on my PS3.
Upscaling
So I
on
looked
PS3
into
better.
it. Yeah, not only is, only up until recently, apparently, the PS4 is the best place to watch a DVD now. It upscales it nice.
Right.
But previously, the PS3 was actually still the best place to watch a DVD.
Yeah, right.
And the PS3 is better to watch a DVD on than
Than a
Xbox One.
They're
Or a
hardware
standalone DVD player.
But that makes sense because they're hardware developers and Microsoft are software developers. So people.
But
complain-
isn't kind of DVD playback all software?
I mean,
Boom, in your face, Baker.
Holy shit!
I don't know.
You just got fired
You
from
just
the
got
podcast.
you just got served here, here, and here. Worst I've ever seen.
And he's gone. Well,
The Binding of Baker, apparently.
So it feels like something they should be able to improve, but it's kind of stuns me in 2015 that on Xbox One you put a DVD in it and it just looks like ass.
But did you?
I'm not saying
but
it's
you
an
then?
excuse. I'm just saying.
But
I'm
did
not
you
surprised
then,
that PlayStation
Luke?
did
Did you
the
then
job
go
better.
back and compare said DVD on a PlayStation platform? Because honestly, like our expectations are changing. The more high-res content we're watching,
Well, also considering the Xbox One in terms of its initial kind of thing about being online only and like the future is digital and blah blah blah, you can imagine that the DVD player was pretty low on their priority list.
But-
No,
Yeah,
but I think
that's what we're saying.
but to Luke's point, like it should be just a slam dunk. Oh, that's done. It should I understand how that's even an issue.
Because
to
they
just-
were too distracted by the
I-
beauty
I-
of the
I
future.
agree, especially how US centric they are. I mean, America is this kind of a band of DVDs. I think they kind of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. But it is a thing now where, I'll only really watch a DVD on a laptop.
At gunpoint.
Now. No, not a laptop because on a
I will
small-
watch a DVD at gunpoint.
on a small screen. It's going to be okay, but I'm not going to throw a DVD onto a big screen anymore. It's just too.
you
shit.
should throw a DVD into a PS console.
Yep.
And
Chuck a DVD on it.
chuck a DVD on it.
Yeah.
And then chuck a DVD on an Xbone.
Yeah.
And honestly, it didn't take me swapping. It didn't take me looking at it going, oh, I don't like that. I'll try a different console. It took me. I instantly picked my phone up because we're all two-screen people these days. I instantly picked my phone up and went, Xbox One playback. And there's people that have much better equipment than me.
Right.
And there is a measurable difference, and it is like a
That's crap.
yeah.
That's
People,
really
and people
crap.
have it. They've looked into it and they're like, no, this is Xbox. Like PS3 and PS4 are objectively better at upscaling than an Xbox One. Anyway, that's kind of a sidetrack.
Let's keep rolling. New Guitar Hero is coming and Rock Band is coming too.
I haven't
Well,
read.
I mean, Rock Band is a rumor, and Harmonix have been like,
It's
I feel so weird
It's
about
coming?
this.
all
I
right.
think- I think
I
it's
want
probably
it to. I want it to happen.
The thing is that I don't know.
I've literally developed a skill that I can only use in one place, and that is these rhythm-based. But I never want to do it. I never want to see another photo of me holding a plastic guitar.
I'm with you. Like Guitar Hero is one of the few games that I'm actually pretty good at.
Yeah.
In terms of I can kind of show off.
Yeah.
But
Were you
feel
like the party
like
trick guy? You would go to the party and they'd be like, "Oh, he could do it on it." Yeah.
yeah,
like-
unless I was drunk.
Yep.
But I feel like
Those were games that you could never really play drunk, no matter how hard you tried.
Train wreck.
I disagree.
But the yeah, well, we've seen you play Big Buck Hunter drunk. And,
Yeah.
that was amazing. I mean, you could beat Glenn McGrath.
The trick
The
is
you
you have to learn them drunk. That's
but I worry about it. Like, I don't know whether it's hard for me to say. I love Rock Band and Guitar Hero in the early days. When those games were out. I don't know what they could change to. Like, I kind of want them to come back, but I also don't know what they could bring to the table
Let me
other
But we
than
were
a
also-
bunch of new plastic.
But that's it.
instruments.
I mean, we were all so burnt out by
And if they both come out
the
at-
the era of the periphery.
if they come back at the same time, then we're gonna get burned out again.
Exactly,
really quickly, and it's
exactly.
like,
I mean, like EB was sending back stock because there's like the whole all of their back rooms
Yeah.
were just piled high with these like plastic
I
peripheries.
just think it's time to give U-Draw another chance. Okay, it's time.
Here's how they.
Let's bring back
True.
Let's bring back the ride board. Let's bring back all the plastic peripherals.
What about DJ
and
Hero 3?
No.
I draw the line there. I absolutely draw the line there. That's not funny, Luke. That's not fucking funny.
Wow.
Luke, you live in Sydney.
Hit him where it
Everybody's an actual DJ. All right? Here's how they do it: episodic, roguelike, 60 frames per
Roguelike.
second.
Yeah, it's like, you don't know
digital
what the next bar's gonna be. Next bar is random.
No, what
Random,
they'll do-
Twitch
random.
compatibility.
What they'll do is they'll do what they did with SingStar, which is turn your phone into your
Oh
guitar.
God.
That's what they're
going to
do.
that
That's
won't
what
work.
they're gonna do. Yeah.
To be fair, I think they already did that. But I think remember when the DS had an attachment.
Yeah.
It was like this thing that you put on your
bad.
hand,
That
Yeah,
sucked.
That
Oh
was
my
so
God.
and you
bad.
strum the touch screen
Yeah,
You're
that
like-
also sucked.
with a pick that attached to your stylus or something.
That's where we were
yeah.
as a culture,
Sucked.
where we were
I
like,
just-
Yeah.
this is fine. You're allowed to do this.
This is fine.
It's-
We evolved beyond this, all right? We're not going back to the ocean harmonics. We're not doing it. We
Yeah,
evolved.
but the
But I-
Skylanders tie-in is gonna be amazing.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Is it too late to point out that I said plastic peripheries rather than plastic peripherals?
Yeah.
I thought we were just going to move on.
I actually
Plastic
did, I didn't.
preferred.
I just want to like.
I didn't want to say anything.
I want to
Well,
just
no,
put it out there
I was following through saying the same word, and I had to correct towards the end of the word because I was just going to repeat what you said, and then I realized you said it
they
wrong.
blurred into one word in my head, but I just
Guys.
want to point out that I acknowledge it.
The age of plastic profiteroles is gone.
I do live
Chocolate profiteroles of the future.
I do live in constant fear that my drum kit is going to break, and I will be stranded with 550 Rock Band songs
so
that I
you-
cannot play.
You still,
would have to get-
you still play
It would cost you one.
Rock Band.
yeah, I still. That's the thing. But
Wait,
I
you're
don't.
sitting
I
at home
don't play the
drumming
guitar.
on your own?
I drum on my own.
Hey, I can respect that,
What a
man. 'Cause
legend.
drumming, no, but like that's actually like that's a real skill.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
the drumming,
and that's- that's-
at the
that's
very
fun
least, the
thing to
drumming
do,
in
right?
Rock Band is similar to actual drumming.
Yeah.
Which I was always jealous of my friends who did drum,
Yep.
and I don't play the drum.
Because you were a pianist,
I,
as I learned
was,
recently.
yes.
Yes.
I played heaps of the drums in the world tour with the cymbal set up, and I'm like, yeah, guys, like I'm learning how to drum. My girlfriend has an electric.
guys.
My girlfriend has an actual electric kit. I can't.
And
fucking
then you
drum.
you went on actual tour and you found out.
Yeah.
This is when
And then
like,
you just, and then
Hello,
you just,
Sydney.
but this,
Yeah. I
this,
joined,
is, this is the
I
power of video games. You can actually learn to drum.
I joined Warrant. Show 1, day 1, 120 show, 5 country tour.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't drum.
You're in the Warrant tribute show,
So that's
which
a-
was actually just Warrant.
That's just
want
another-
blueberry
That's
pie.
that's another thing you don't have in common with Daryl Summers.
yeah.
He can drum.
And then
Yeah,
you
he
just
can.
you
He
just
can drum.
put it on the street, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I just put
I
my
remember this anecdote.
my-
How to get rid of a Guitar Hero War Tour drum kit in
But
Newtown.
Baker,
Put it on the
were you,
street.
but were you like really that bad? Because like that setup, I was like, okay, that's a lot of elements.
That's-
Like I
but that's-
imagined that like if you could get the syncopation down and doing a couple of different beats at the same time, like that would actually transfer.
The timing is there, but you're learning to play 4 pads in front of you. You know, like
Yeah.
maybe I'd be able to play one of those like
but
children's
it's
kits.
surely just
but
it's surely just a period of adjustment,
no,
right?
but
surely.
it's like you know how to jerk yourself off. You wouldn't know how to jerk off a 5-foot cock. Like it's a different ball
Whoa.
game. Like it's a
What?
different like. It's,
I tuned
great-
out for a second and then tuned back in.
Great analogy.
Like,
Great analogy.
it's a different setup completely. It's timing like
you got to bring an umbrella.
yeah, but the timing's there. But it's like it's a completely different setup. Like you've got to cross your arms. You've got to
But you have to do that anyway.
in like.
I thought that. Yeah, I thought.
But it's like this. Like it's.
Ah.
and it's
I
almost
already
easy to
crossed
do
my
that.
arms.
Like.
Come
but
on, man.
It's a different setup completely.
Okay.
I look, you might be better than I am.
I
You might
think
be-
it's still a good kind of training wheel.
Is it a good crucible, Tristan?
I think like infinitely more so than the plastic guitar thing
Oh, yeah.
for guitars.
That was always my favorite thing, is that when you would play those guitars, and then people who could actually play guitars like, oh, you're not learning how to play guitar. It's like,
Well, of course
yeah,
not.
I'm not learning how to play fucking football either.
yeah, I don't walk into the fucking like army barracks and go, look, listen, guys, I survived the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I served in Vietnam.
I
in
took
Black
Kevin
Ops.
Spacey down.
I survived the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Let's keep
News
rolling.
blast.
Lionsgate is invested in Telltale Games. I know nothing about that. Does anyone know anything about that?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Super show.
They
What does that mean?
Sounds
they've got a
awful.
slice of Telltale now, and I looked at what Lionsgate do, because people are speculating. Oh, what are they going to do? Are Telltale going to make Lionsgate films into product into
Mad Men. Mad Men, the Telltale game.
You know what? I
Am I-
wouldn't mind that.
That actually would be awesome.
Yeah,
I like Mad Men.
I wish Telltale would I appreciate that Telltale is like taking over the world, but part of me just thinks, God, do it in the right way. Get shows like Mad Men. You've got Game of Thrones.
It's like it's like 10 a.m. Do I drink the scotch or do I drink the gin?
But go for the
Betty
big
Crocker
properties.
Can you imagine like having to choose between different inspirational like lines of like advertising?
Yeah,
skill?
during
It'd
a
be-
presentation to a client.
It'd be
That'd
hilarious.
Be awesome.
As if
I
you
actually
would
think
take
that
it
would be
on
awesome.
purpose. As if you wouldn't take it on purpose. Like the Volkswagen guys, what do you want to do? Say, Don, what do you want to do for the Volkswagen campaign?
Say, Don, what do you know?
That's a transatlantic voice.
Yeah,
and then it would be, and then Don Draper would be like, VW. It's a Nazi shitbox on wheels.
Vaginal wipes.
I actually think that would
The
be
Colonel
amazing.
will remember that.
But yeah, I looked at Lionsgate, and it's like they're just going to make a Twilight game. You just know it.
Is that one of their biggest properties?
That's one of Lionsgate's biggest
Yes.
things. You know what I want them to make? I want them to make a point-and-click Expendables adventure game, because Lionsgate do that as well. So whether
Really?
it's just like
do you think
interrogate bad guy, shoot bad guy,
I don't know if
grunt.
I don't know if such an action-heavy game lends itself. Action-heavy film lends itself to a point-and-click game, but maybe.
Sharpen knife.
Yeah.
Hey, you ever thought they'd make a point-and-click zombie game? That worked.
Yeah, no, Borderlands is obviously.
I know, but
know.
zombie. I guess it's more about the drama between characters. I bet Expendables, does that have any drama?
Well, the
between
drama
characters?
between JCVD
All right, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
and Rocky.
But between JP's,
It'd be a bromance to end all bromances, because think about it. It's like, who do I hook up with? You know, you've got this huge ensemble cast of big burly men. You don't know who
true.
you're going to fuck at the end of it.
There is a certain implication. You definitely haven't seen Expendables 3, right?
I haven't seen any of the Expendables films.
I feel like it was implied, maybe slightly, that Jet Li and Arnold Schwarzenegger are an item at the end of that film.
Really?
Damn.
Damn.
Let's keep rolling. Speaking of action movies, Predator is in MKX.
Thank you, Satan.
It seems like a
I
spectacular
thought you were a
fit.
Christian.
Well, if he is a Christian, then he believes in Satan.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is fucking awesome. Someone's reading my letters.
The other rumor is Dylan is in it there as well.
Dylan?
Yeah.
you
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is that a legit rumor?
That was the rumor that was associated with this rumor, that it was Predator
He
and
just
another
handshake
character.
them to death as the fatality.
Dylan,
pushing
like-
too many
Too many
pencils.
pencils.
Freddy Krueger was in fucking the last one, and that was sick.
Yeah, well, yeah. That
As
Yeah,
like
that's
a
right.
DLC character.
Was
And
he the only horror dude? That's
Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
was
I
in-
prefer Scary Terry to be in there, but
Scary too.
Well, the other rumor, which is not associated with this
Terry
one,
Crews.
I think it landed slightly earlier or later, is that Spawn is possibly in it as well.
He's already been in Soul Calibur.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Forget that.
And that was
Spawn's pretty
And that was the
unfashionable
shit version. The
these days.
GameCube one had Link in it, so that was the
oh,
best. Soul
yeah, the
Calibur
Tristan
2.
Ogilvy special.
Year of Zelda.
Woo!
and PlayStation had Hihachi from the Tekken is in it. A battle that rages on and nobody cares.
Wait. Let's get into freestyle some more Soul Calibur
Give us some
dialogue.
more Soul Calibur intro.
Yeah. History. The stage of history is set. Ben, take it away.
A tale been forged through all times of a breakfast meal of epic proportions. I'm doing alarm clock.
Profiteroles.
That's pretty classic Soul Calibur.
A profiterole forged in steel and plastic.
Oh, chewy. I actually think Predator would make sense. I'm not
Predator is
I'm not
an
a
awesome
Mortal Kombat
fit,
player.
like-
A
but
croissant so light and fluffy, you won't believe your taste buds.
So yeah, I don't know how likely that is of happening, but I think
It doesn't seem out
tear
of
their
the,
hearts out and do that kind of thing.
it'd be
Yeah,
so, yeah,
totally.
the fucking
I mean,
like the
think of it-
cannon.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, just
projectiles.
liquefy
Exactly.
them.
Like Predator's abilities syncs in pretty well with
Because they got the
Combat.
3-tiered combat thing.
He's
where
basic.
yeah, you kind of choose when you
There's-
choose your
every character has
character.
3 different fight styles that
Fight
changes
styles,
the
yeah.
character
I'm
completely.
not listening.
God damn it! But Predator's basically already Cyrax. Cyrax was based
Yeah,
on Predator,
yeah, right.
so
Oh, so it'll be a reskin Cyrax.
And
Easy.
and
Classic
Johnny
Mortal
Cage
Kombat.
is
Sold
based
for a
on
bunch of money.
JCVD, and JCVD was the original Predator.
That is true. That is a true.
That is
factoid.
true facts.
Oh,
I
true
actually
facts?
looked at this and I thought it said Predator in MKR. And I was like, really? My Kitchen Rules with Predator on it? I would tune in.
I
for
would
that.
actually watch that.
You know,
just
I
be-
would
Hey,
tune
Tristan,
in for
Tristan,
that. I would tune in.
Tristan. It's Mario Kart 10.
Predator.
You read it? It's Mario Kart 10. Mario Kart 10, dude.
Yeah, he's driving a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I
of
watched
course.
Predator versus Poe. She was a wedding.
She
that
was
I,
on MasterChef, you idiot.
I don't
All
fucking
right.
know.
Let's move on. Will Bethesda announce Fallout 4 at their first ever E3 conference? Yes, probably.
Probably.
The GTA 5 heists are coming.
Yay!
And
Sooner
we're,
than you-
and we're probably going to play them maybe soon.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll talk about it in the next podcast. Miles Morales could be Marvel's next Spider-Man.
Which
Lucy,
is...
I don't know anything about this. You do.
Okay, so this is a big deal.
Oh, hang on. You added this.
Yeah, I did. I didn't realize
Oh,
it.
you
What?
didn't. But you
What?
didn't delete my point.
Well, I didn't realize that your point... Because your point was different to the headline because I wrote that news story, so I knew it as the news story.
Yeah, I just plucked out the quote from the first dude's
Right.
quote. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the new rumor is that obviously Spider-Man has gone back to the Marvel. Well, not that he was ever in the MCU, but he is gone. He
Yep.
is going into the MCU, followed by a solo movie. And so there has been this rumor by a reputable source, whose name actually has just completely escaped me because I should have read this
Dan
before.
Jonah
Baker?
Jameson.
Let's say it's
J.
let's
Jonah
say
Jameson.
let's say it's Jonah Jameson.
Jenna Jameson.
Yep, very reputable source.
Oh God,
It's
what's
like
his name? It's gonna
Spider-Man's gonna take a sticky web all over
she
his
is a
face.
deep throat.
It's
on this.
Jeff. Oh, it's completely escaped me. Anyway, a very reputable guy who works at the Wrap, which is a trade film site,
Got it.
has basically said that he is completely something like 95% sure that the next Spider-Man is not going to be Peter Parker and that he is not going to be white. So, basically that led everyone. Well, it's the obvious conclusion is that it's going to be the second Spider-Man, Miles Morales, who was introduced in 2011, and it's
How
basically
many-
everyone's gone crazy over
Yeah.
it because they're like, but it should be Peter Parker because
Wait,
especially Peter Parker was in
Black
Civil War.
stormtroopers aren't bad enough. What the hell is happening to the
The
world?
world has gone fucking crazy.
How many
Yeah.
has
I
there-
have women Ghostbusters.
My-
Blackstone.
My God will not stand for this.
Oh my God! As a white dude, I've never felt more oppressed.
It's
Why would they do that? Do they not want to win an Oscar?
well,
How many Spider-Man have there been? I don't read the comic books. How many Spider-Man? Has it just been Peter Parker and Miles Morales?
No, there's been more than
and
that.
there's been more,
And
but
did
Miles
Peter
Morales
Parker
died.
he died.
Yeah, he
Okay.
died in the
Oh.
comics.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, like Miles Morales is, I don't know how well he was received. Again, I haven't actually read the comic,
he's in the
comics.
Ultimates
He's in
version,
the
right?
Ultimate.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So he's
Okay.
in the same place where the Sam Jackson Nick Fury that we have now is he's the ultimate Nick Fury.
Right.
So they've already crossed over.
Okay.
With,
But yeah, I mean the timeline, certainly the timeline that sort of MCU is following is more of a Peter Parker timeline, especially with the Civil War
Civil
stuff.
War,
I mean
yeah.
that's all Peter Parker. So I on the one hand I do understand that people are like what, but on the other hand I think that
Kermit the Frog was like,
What?
Hey, as a
Peggy?
But honestly, but I also think that we've just seen personally. I just think we have seen enough of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I'm gutted about Andrew Garfield because I think he was a good Spider-Man, but he had.
I wouldn't know. Didn't see
No.
those films.
He
No,
was a Spider-Man under really unfortunate circumstances. So I feel sorry for the guy, and I actually feel sorry for everyone involved in the Amazing Spider-Man.
I feel sorry for no one
He
pointed
got
a gun
paid.
at Andrew Garfield and went, "Be Spider-Man, motherfucker." I don't want to be, guys. I feel like it might be too soon to reboot the series. I mean, no, Andrew Garfield.
It's true.
Yeah, he
Blah
could
blah
have.
blah. John Wick.
He could have.
it's true.
He could have made a statement. He could have said, "It is too soon. Find somebody else."
I don't want
Maybe
those
he
millions of
wasn't the
dollars.
first person they approached.
I
Maybe
would have
they
been
approached other people
Spider-Man in
first.
the new movies. I would have just. I mean, I'm not a good actor, but I was like,
Hey,
Or a
give
good
us
drummer.
a scene. Give us a scene with Mary Jane. Give us a scene with Mary Jane. Wait, no, Mary Jane. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you might be a good Mary Jane.
You hang upside down.
Here,
Yep.
you play Uncle Ben, and I'll play Spider-Man.
Yep.
All right.
You've just been...
I'll play
I'm
John
dying.
Wick.
I'm dying.
Okay, you're the
Nut
robber.
shot, headshot.
All right, you're the robber. Shoot Uncle Ben.
Bang.
Peter, remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Good line.
Fuck, okay. You gonna be alright?
Oh, fuck, okay.
And scene.
They wouldn't even if I guess the thing we should mention is because when they initially come out and said it, Marvel have said that it's going to be Peter Parker and blah blah blah.
Well, the initial press release that was pushed out when it announced the whole joint, Marvel and Sony have come to this deal. It was almost like a throwaway line. I mean, of course, with any of these things, it's never going to be a throwaway line, but it was very much like we are very excited to bring Peter Parker's story into the MCU.
Yeah.
And so basically not everyone, a lot of people in the comment section of that story were like, well, Marvel already said that it was going to be Peter Parker in a press release, so therefore, what is this guy going on about? But, I don't, we can't always trust press releases. I think that's a ridiculous sort of...
I doubt that ever, even if they did, they wouldn't necessarily do another origin, because they didn't do an origin with Hulk.
No.
Because it was so close to the Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah.
But they are no, and they can't do another origin story.
No,
they just can't. It would be absurd.
But why is he so angry?
Is that because I just completely revolutionized the Spider-Man origin story?
Oh.
They can't do it after
I will
this
never
podcast?
see Spider-Man the same ever again.
But the thing about Peter Parker is that he's not defined. He's like,
you all right, mate?
he's not defined by his whiteness, so he could be anybody. He could just be. I think they just want someone younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
part of me does wish. Part of me does the part of me that enjoys seeing fanboys upset, which is a very dark part of me. But no, no, part of me wants to see a new character. I get. I mean, we're already seeing it with Johnny Storm, that you can take an existing character who's being portrayed as Caucasian in the comics and turn, and make him black or Latino or what have you.
Just as a quick heads up.
Because he's still American.
Nick Fury, anybody?
Well, yeah.
Well, he's still American, right?
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it's like...
I want to see a Chinese super Spider-Man.
I
I
totally...
want to see a mole person Spider-Man.
I totally get it. I mean, beloved characters can be, racially flipped, they can be gender flipped, and people will, kick up a fuss about it in the beginning, and, and look at Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica is, one of the most perfect examples of that. But I still think it would be really interesting to see a different Spider-Man, because, I personally am a little bit, not bored, just, bored. By Peter Parker,
We're all wary of it as well.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued to see something, just it being the character being shaken up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It'd be a big call, I reckon, though, because of how big a deal Spider-Man is for Marvel. Because they offered Sony, so much money to get it back. And honestly, I never really cared about Spider-Man. I still don't. Spider-Man's always seemed kind of like a superhero that I've not been interested in, and I can't really tell why. Because kids love Spider-Man. But
he's a wise crack.
It's kind of like...
Well, he's a fun superhero. He
but
brings a little bit of lightheartedness to...
But I feel like when you think about all the cartoons that I didn't watch when I was a kid, that Peter Parker seems associated with Spider-Man at the same point, at the same level that Bruce Wayne is Batman. And then to change that feels like a bold thing for Marvel.
Oh yeah, it would be massively bold.
Yeah.
It'd be massively bold. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. This guy whose name again I cannot put my finger on, which is just so crazy. But yeah, he is very sure that he's not going to be a white guy. And interestingly, Miles Morales was influenced massively by Glover,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
Because there was that thing where they were
Yeah.
they were talking about how
he voiced that character in some cartoons.
They were
So that's
shit,
so it's a
awesome.
fairly recent-
the creation of him
thought I
was
was out.
influenced by Donald Glover.
And you pull me back in.
Well, no, because there was an announcement when they were going to cast the new Spider-Man movies that Donald Glover was on the table, and fanboys fucking went crazy. He even wrote a fucking stand-up sketch about
Right.
people sending him the most hateful fucking
Right.
shit over Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as kind of a response to that, they made Spider-Man a black dude. Like, so
Suck it.
yeah, I'm God. Like, does it really matter? Like, the Avengers is so white dude heavy already. It's.
Yep.
I mean, okay, one of them's a white Martian dude, and one of them's a rich white dude, and then one of them's a white archery dude.
Yep.
One of them's a green dude.
Yeah, but sometimes
But
he's a white.
but
Oh, but sometimes, but
he's
he's mostly
normally
a
a white dude.
Yeah.
he's half cast. But yeah, it's like, come on, throw anything else in the mix. There's you got like a white.
I mean, no one's going. When is
like a
Winter
white
Soldier?
lady dude.
Winter Soldier's ages away. You
Winter
know,
Soldier is ages away.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and it'll never ever happen in 2015. But what I reckon the best thing for Marvel to do, whether or not it's a white Peter Parker or a black Peter Parker or it's Miles Morales or whatever like that, the best thing to do for Marvel would be to not tell anyone.
Well, that's
And
but that's
when the Civil War is all about revealing Spider-Man,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's like been a very that's been like a common thing that
Yeah.
everyone's been like, that is how it should be revealed.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Like, just take off the mask and that's the reveal of the actor.
Take off the Majora mask.
And it's a chick.
And it's a vagina.
Oh my god, if it was a chick, dear god.
Oh my god. We need
Mass
Fun of you.
suicides.
we need to kick on through this
Here's blast.
super quick. Dolphin Lover.
We did it, baby. That's all that needs to be said. The story of
So-
Malcolm J. Brenner
The
is
author.
now
What's the book?
Wet Goddess.
Wet Goddess,
That's it.
thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
Malcolm J. Brenner's story is now being told in moving picture form, and I haven't
What's it
looked-
rated?
I haven't looked in any more deeply into this than
For
watching.
everybody.
Than watching like the little teaser trailer. But I can only assume that it's been made by Pubcast, friends of
Yeah.
Pubcast.
Yeah.
They should
So
have called
thank
it.
you, thank you.
50 Shades of Grey would have been a good name for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was already taken.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. 69 Shades of Grey. I don't know.
Gross. Okay, we'll keep rolling. Blomkamp's Alien movie will ignore Alien 3 and the Resurrection. Good.
Smart man.
It is going to go straight. It is going to go straight from Aliens. That, like, in terms of chronology.
What are they going to call it then?
No.
Because
Well,
you got
it's
Aliens.
almost like it's going to be
Two
Aliens
S's.
2. It's almost like going to be Aliens 2.
Yeah.
That's how it's being pitched.
That's fucking sick.
That's an enormous amount of pressure.
Oh, I love aliens so much.
Should be Aliens Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. Too fast, too alien. I don't know. I feel like that dude just should make his own films.
Yeah, well,
But he
I mean,
wants- he
like,
wants
no,
to
but that's
make
what
it,
we had.
but-
We had this discussion.
We
Like,
did, yeah,
you know, it's kind of a shame when you see these like sci-fi directors who are really carving out a niche for themselves, instead of just being like, oh, we'll go back and just make another Alien movie.
That just feels
But
like
we've
that's
been
a-
Yeah,
Birds.
but that's obviously been like a huge source of inspiration for him to do this in the first place.
Of
so
course,
Oh,
but I
totally.
feel like it's just really setting yourself up for a fall.
Yeah,
I
I mean-
wouldn't do it. I'm too much of a coward.
Well,
Like,
look
I
at-
love
yeah.
aliens, but
I know,
I
it's
would
like-
never like.
it's like that time
I'm going to make a sequel to Aliens, you guys.
It's like that time we put Baker in the hosting chair of the podcast.
Well, I think the cautionary
I flew
tale.
too close to the sun, guys.
But I think the cautionary tale that people keep bringing up is Superman Returns. Like that it could be.
Yeah,
another
Brian
Superman
Singer
Returns.
was a fucking amazing director until then, and he has been subsequently. But you know that was.
Yeah.
What happened with those allegations? By the way.
all clear.
Okay,
all
good.
clear,
All
yeah.
right, good.
Yeah. I mean, not from a legal standpoint, I have no idea.
I hope they're
Yeah.
not. Anyway,
Let's not get into
new DuckTales is coming. Good.
2017,
Oh,
just when all of us are properly like
That is
like
the
almost,
only response. you
I
can
can't
give
wait
to
for
that.
this gritty DuckTales reboot, guys.
you know, when by the time that all of us have actually like got nostalgia fatigue is when the new DuckTales is going to come
It's
out.
just like Scrooge, he's get hit by the recession, and now he has to take on the
Yeah.
Beagle Boys
No,
to
I
get
don't
back
think
what
Disney won't make the gritty reboot. That guy who does the Power Rangers and the Punisher gritty reboots, he'll do it, and then Disney will ask him to take it down afterwards.
True.
Look at movie 2 enlists community director. Well,
Yeah, the guy who directed you remember the G.I. Jeff episode?
Yep.
of Community. Rob Schrab directed that.
Wait, Rob Schraub?
Rob,
Yeah.
fucking.
Wait,
he's
Rob
directing.
Reiner?
Rob Schrab
Lego
is the
Movie 2.
That's fucking awesome. Rob Schrab is like, he's done my favorite comic book of all time called Scudder.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, fuck. I grew up on that dude, like, for sure.
Yeah, he's directing Lego Movie 2.
If you listen to the Harmontown podcast, Rob Schrab is a very frequent, like they talk about him all the time.
I just can't handle Harmon. I love Schrab. I don't like Harmon.
I like Harmon a lot.
I watched that Harmontown movie and I want to
I
frisbee
haven't
my
seen
TV
that
out
yet.
of the fucking balcony.
Harmon's a weird character.
I had no idea this was happening. This has been a great news blast for me.
Woo! I
Uh,
like that you don't look ahead in the
Picture blast.
in the list. Let's Jason Momoa, who played who is the guy from Game of Thrones?
Drogo.
Khal Drogo is Aquaman.
Go for a cricket one, Luke. Go
Cricket. You're the cricket one.
Cricket.
Cricket.jpg.
Yeah, let's go for the-
Cricket.jpg.
Oh,
look.
no.
Oh, you mug.
I chose the right one.
You sell out.
Anyway, for
Spiritually-
the listeners who
spiritually
are not
still
watching,
Cricket.
Khal Drogo will be Aquaman.
That was already announced. They just...
That was
Quite a
ago.
radically different.
Yeah, he's like...
looking
People are
Aquaman.
like,
well,
he's not
it's
blonde.
Zack Snyder, so
but still
what are
Aquaman.
we
Yeah,
gonna-
exactly.
Yeah.
He's
but, like, what did we expect?
He was a dull Aquaman. Let's move on to Arnold says he'll be back for the next 2 Terminators. Well, let's get
Yay.
this.
Thanks for
Let's-
spoiling this Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. What, he doesn't die? Let's get this one out of the way first, I think, Arnie. Let's move on to the Pubcast mailbag.
Rap.
A
rap.
Wait,
A
what's
rap.
that?
A rap. 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 A rap. A rap. A rap and rap.
Do it in the
Stick it-
style of 311.
You wrote a thing on the internet. Podcast.
God,
That's actually pretty close.
Thank you.
Note perfect. Lucy,
That was
do you
the
want to...
worst intro to the Facebook mailbag ever.
but 1996 loved it.
Yeah.
Lucy.
Gem Gold asks,
Friend of the podcast.
Dear Pubcast, Baker recently recommended I grab The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and now I can't stop playing it. What should I do? Just asking for a friend. Love, Gem.
You should make it to the cathedral level with the blue baby character to get the D6, and then you can actually start grinding to the platinum god achievement.
God, that's hot.
Oh my god.
Sounds like me talking about
Keep
Hearthstone.
going. Joe Musgrave.
Wait.
Musgrave.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Hi, Jam. We miss you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
miss
do.
you,
Still
Jim.
miss
By the
you.
way, we still miss you. That's never going to stop until you come back. If you were to write an autobiography, what would the title be?
I've got this. Laugh fart.
I thought it would have been straight out of Bega.
No.
Bigger, better, uncut.
That's good.
How about The Bartender Knows My Name, the Benjamin Baker story?
It's pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
That's classier than I would have thought you'd go for.
You know, the,
Cunny tearing dick rippers with
Yep.
Benji Baker.
Yeah.
the Canadian actor Martin Short just released a memoir, and he didn't call it short stories. What the fuck, Martin Short? That was so obvious. He called it something really boring.
Yeah, but
Like fart laughing.
no, but
I thought you were going to say it was going to be called a Martloff.
The thing is, we're spoilt in this country with all the cricket memoirs because they've all got
So
We are
many,
spoiled.
so many cricket memoirs in this
But
country.
they've all got the puntastic
Yeah,
titles,
of
right?
course.
So we just assume that's the way.
the
things
only
are
way.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the way the rest of the world sees these things.
What would your book be called?
I have no idea.
Okay, all right, good. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just gonna just
I have no idea.
How about,
By Luke Riley.
Riled Up?
nice.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's ridiculous.
That's
Yes.
I'm just gonna skip some of these.
Insert catchphrase here.
Dave Mateo. After the release of the Power Rangers short film, which childhood TV show do you want to see a gritty reboot of? I'd like a gritty Widget the World Watcher.
Secret Life of Alex Mack.
Let's see.
Hey Arnold.
Hey, Arnold. What about a gritty reboot of Reboot?
I never watched that.
Right.
Was that a
Oh,
show?
God, you
Super
guys.
Ted.
No,
Super-
I
Gritty reboot of
I
Super
know.
Ted.
Are they
Yeah.
not? They're making a Super Ted film.
Yeah, but is it a gritty reboot?
Probably not.
What about a
Probably
gritty
not.
reboot of Animorphs?
I think the one franchise we have for a gritty reboot is Wurzel Gummidge.
Oh my god!
Oh,
totally.
man.
Wait,
I
round the
love-
twist! Round the twist!
I
No,
lost way too much.
I
Twist.
think Wurzel Gummidge.
A gritty reboot.
Hey, it's Saturday!
He was the scariest. Yeah. Wow. Jesus.
I thought of a reboot of Hey Hey It's Saturday on the Weekend called Oi Nah It's Saturday.
No, it should be Yeah Nah.
Yeah Nah It's
Yeah,
Saturday. Yeah Nah It's Saturday.
That's awesome.
Oh god.
Yeah, nah, it's Saturday.
But that whole Power Rangers thing is, I think it was after my childhood.
Well, I remember watching like Power
I
Rangers.
I never
it was
watched
so
it. After
far after
school.
my childhood.
You guys are like maybe a little.
I think that might be
Yeah,
it.
so
I definitely saw Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
in my childhood, just at the edge of it.
I was in
Yeah.
high school when Ninja Turtles was on.
I was in the
Same.
hot. I was in the hot bit
But
of that
Power
shit.
Rangers, I'd never.
They had
caught
like a
the-
photo of me up on the wall when they were designing those toys. Like, that's the prick we're gonna get.
Adam Garrison asks,
Adam.
what?
It is actually
Adam.
Adam.
Adam Garrison asks, what is
No,
your
no,
favorite?
Adam Garrison.
Adam Garrison asks, what is your favorite episode of a Telltale game?
Twilight. It hasn't been released
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But that's my one.
Mine's a super show because it sounds awesome.
The Super Show. Favorite episode?
Hey, I love when like real TV and video games cross pollinate. You know,
Yeah.
that can only end well.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think you're being
that's a really hard
serious, Cam.
Well, that's a hard question. I mean, I don't actually like. I played through The Walking Dead once because it's like I mean, all Telltale sort of games I've only played through once because it's. I find it kind of weird to play through
Yeah.
again.
I agree.
The story feels really personal to me.
And also, like The Walking Dead first season, you'd say, well, the last episode. But that's only
Yeah.
because it was like a culmination of everything that had happened. So I don't know which actual individual episode was the best.
No, neither.
So I have no idea.
Jeff.
G.I. Jeff.
Yeah.
It was probably my best.
I really,
Yeah.
I really like that episode of Faulty Towers where he couldn't get the duck delivered.
Hey,
I
remember?
actually-
Yeah, when Manuel was.
Manuel
Yeah.
couldn't understand his English.
I actually have I actually do have
Don't
a
mention
favorite
the war.
episode.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right.
Telltale Games is Faulty Towers. When's that going to come out?
Oh
That
man,
would be amazing.
The
these guys should make everything.
fucking.
All right,
hell.
all right, let's hear it. Big
The barn episode of the first season of Walking Dead
Yeah.
was fucking crazy. Like, I really, really dug that
That
episode.
stood out for me too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like the episode where Clementine said that she put the bug on the little kid's pillow. That was my favorite episode.
Old bug pillow.
Joe Allen asks, when the hell are they going to tell us what will be available on Australian Netflix? Well, they have announced some stuff.
Yeah, they're drip feeding it.
They're drip feeding it.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that is kind of just so below the radar that it's
We're gonna
almost
get-
not.
Actually,
Genie from Down Under.
they have Round the Twist.
Hey.
Woo! So,
What, really?
yeah.
Do they have
off.
ship to shore?
They have
I
Ocean-
can't promise
Do
that.
they have Ocean
do.
Girl?
Wait, but like, why is Round the Twist not just on like iView or something?
Yeah, why
It
doesn't it have like
probably
a
is.
like a Hey
No,
Hey, it's
yeah, they're
Saturday?
probably
Like, why doesn't it have its own?
They're probably taking it off iView and putting it behind a paywall.
But
Does it have the McAuliffe program?
That's a great question, but I don't.
Do they have the McAuliffe program?
I don't know. That's what it was called, right?
That's how it's pronounced.
I like it.
They have announced some things that people wouldn't have expected, like
Skit
like,
House.
like House of Cards. People assume that would just be
Skit
Foxtel,
House of
but it's
Cards.
actually
Well,
They-
double the fist.
Well,
Double
yeah,
the Fist
they're
House of Cards.
yeah.
the Netflix
Live and
originals. But no, I mean, like in terms of the full lineup, they're really leaving.
Don't forget your toothbrush.
Oh,
They're really
that was a
leaving
good show.
things to the
Was
very
it?
last minute.
I liked it. I tuned in, hoping to win, hoping to be jettisoned to
It's
somewhere.
obviously okay, but
Shut
it's not a
up.
classic.
Tristan
It's a late
Smith
show?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Luke.
late show.
asks, "Hey guys, how is Luke's playthrough of old demos going? If you need some more 90s demo discs, I've got a few I can send in."
Dipped in honey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The beekeeper. I haven't played any for a while, but Tristan and I are looking at doing some more of those sorts of videos. So maybe I'll dip back into it.
Send him in,
It
Tristan
feels
Smith.
like the demo thing is covered
Yeah.
to me. Like I really love those two pieces. I think we should move on to
demos are kind of
action
dying
films or
art.
something, maybe. I don't know. Like
We could
I
dip
don't
into
know.
something
yeah,
else.
It's probably a shit idea.
That's
Yeah.
a shit idea.
Lachlan Nowak asks,
So much foreshadowing on this episode.
with the order getting slammed for its short campaign,
Campaign. Campari.
Pogam.
campaigny, I think people
Camper
now just
IGN.
care about stupid long solo. I think he meant long solo games with boring stories.
This wasn't one of the ones you skipped.
Do you think campaigns? I've skipped a lot.
Take
know.
that, Lachlan Nowak.
Do you think campaigns need to be long, or
No.
is a short one with a solid story good enough?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, this is a good question. And Dominic, I apologize if I pronounce your name
I think
poorly.
it's Xiao Yi Chen.
Nice. Dominic
Nice.
Zhao Yi Chen, which game do you talk about the most to your non-gamer friends?
Hearthstone. Clearly.
I still remember showing my dad and this is like back in the day when I still lived in New Zealand. I remember showing my dad Red Dead Redemption and being like, "Hey, Dad, look at this," and him genuinely going, "Dear God."
I remember, because I tried to get my dad interested in games at one point, at the Super Nintendo era, and I had rented Nigel Mansell's Formula One Grand Prix from the video store, because my dad's a big Formula One fan.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, check this out, Dad." And he walked out of the room, and we haven't spoken since. Dad, if you're listening,
I miss you. I miss you.
tell me I've done well. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I don't
beautiful,
know. I don't
T-balls.
really talk to non-gamers
No, neither do I.
so much.
I don't. Well, no. I mean, I don't like. It's not a conversation. I've got plenty of friends who don't play video games,
Well,
but I don't talk to them
But
about.
it's contextual, right? Like,
Right.
I know a dude who's like a mad skater, and I'm like, "Have you played Skater?" Because you'll really like
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of, you know,
Yeah.
I've been talking.
like if somebody's interested in,
I've been talking about Def Jam Icon with a bunch of friends of mine for like the last month.
Yep.
I actually tracked it down and bought it for like $13 the other day. So yeah, Def Jam Icon is the game that I talk to non-gamers about the most.
Well, that's because you love to rap.
Yes, I'm a rapsman.
Hey, do a rap about Def
Rapsman.
Jam Icon.
No.
All right, here is an angry,
God?
angry
That's Daniel Bryan.
Wade McCartney feeling the burn. How much longer will the industry continue to churn out half-finished piles of mess masquerading as AAA titles?
Oh,
And
truth.
how much longer will we, as the consumer, lay down and take it?
Oh my God! This Wade McCartney knows what's up.
He Banksy'd the shit out of our mailbag.
Yeah. Forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want us to say?
That's sort of kind
This
of.
is the
that
new
is
model.
tough.
The new model is,
Well, no, I mean, I think
Fix it later.
yeah.
I am ever the optimist. Whatever. I like to think that there has still been, in terms of like, we're not talking about like DLC and all that kind of like additional stuff like microtransactions, all this shit that pisses people off these days. I'm talking about like the games that have been released recently that have been broken. I still blame some of that on. I mean, the model is. I believe that the model is broken, and in the way that people need to, there's this pressure to rush out games to a deadline, and there's also like these latest consoles are still, I believe, unknown entities to a lot of developers, and so I think that. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think anyone is like, in terms of from the development side, anyone is trying to dick anyone around.
No, of course not. They're not trying to release a broken game or trying to release a bad game. They're trying to make the best games they can.
You're trying to tell me that you.
Within
I guess what-
unrealistic constraints.
But I guess, within unrealistic constraints. And I think that, it
At
is.
times. Unless they're Blizzard or
The secret
Rockstar.
is 2D roguelike.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
know?
to. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're sick of the AAA model, then there's so much happening in the indie space, right? There's
That's
so
true.
much happening in the mobile space. There's so much happening out of that model.
I mean,
which is
you could just play Dota 2 for the rest of your life.
you could.
I guess. People seem to do it.
Yeah, I know.
They
10
do.
million people seem to do
Holy
it. I don't
crap.
really know what the deal is.
That's a news item we didn't have on the list. Was like the concurrent figures for.
Oh, it's insane.
Oh, actually, no. I just got Dota confused with League of Legends.
Yeah, no, but
There was 1 million people playing Dota at
Yep.
simultaneously.
But then the
Wow.
league record was like
10 or something.
yeah, something crazy.
People love
What?
MOBAs.
Yeah, no, but they do, and I don't know.
I guess
That's awesome because
Yeah, man.
It is a world that has left
But
me
it's-
behind and that I will never enter.
But
Yeah.
there is so much.
but that's what it is.
There is
Yeah.
so much going on though outside of the AAA game space. When I was in the UK a couple of weeks ago, I met up with a guy, a good friend of mine who works at King Games, right? So obviously, people tend to roll their eyes when thinking about King because they make Candy Crush.
And they
So
steal
it's-
all their games from other people.
So it's
They kind of seem evil across
Yeah.
the board.
it's
It's
a
a despicable company. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hate their guts.
That was a perfect volleyball, like the spike at the end.
But it was very interesting talking to a guy.
So you slapped him in the face, and then what happened?
Talking to a guy who is working in that world and is trying to. I should probably not be talking about this very private conversation.
Yeah,
I mean,
if it's private.
but no. Like on the whole, we just had a very interesting conversation about how there is so much going on in games right now beyond the AAA model, and for many people, the AAA model is considered, that's the games industry, but it's not. There's so much more. There's so much more going on. Yeah. So my advice to you, Wade, is that if you are sick of what the AAA industry is right now, then just forth, opt out, and explore the options elsewhere.
Excellent advice.
Tune in, turn on, drop out.
Just before we change, do you think there's a video idea where we get 4 of us who are the least interested in playing a MOBA game and throwing us on a team onto the internet and just filming our screaming failure, like a hot burning shit fire failure, and then just putting that on the internet? Do you think there's anything in that at all? Because I can't play any of those games.
The problem is
possibly on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the people that would appeal to are also people who don't understand MOBAs. Okay. Because anyone who has any level of knowledge would just be like really frustrated by it.
I just want to make a video that creates comments where people continually tell me what I'm doing wrong. That's
you should just post any article on our website and you'll be fine. You'll get that.
Paul Kennedy, PK, we missed you at the BBSAs.
What the fuck, PK?
PK.
Car broke down.
Pick up the phone. His car
stuff happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
anyway, playing
sucks.
through.
I had my hugging arms out and ready for the entirety of that event.
That is legitimately.
Nobody stepped in.
It was actually really awkward.
That's a real bummer.
He started
He
salivating.
looked like that. Christ the Redeemer, just standing behind his decks.
Yeah, I couldn't mix. I had to try and mix with my dick.
It
wasn't good.
Playing through Diablo 3 on hard is too easy. Should I ditch my equipment?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's totally right.
Question.
It's way too hard. Way too easy, sorry.
Yeah, bump up that shit.
Well, the problem is that, until you've beaten the campaign, you can't actually go up difficulty levels.
Oh, okay.
So you don't unlock, the torment levels and all that kind of shit until you've beaten it on hard, but hard is way too easy. And so it's like this thing where you just got to push through. So yeah, PK, honestly, if you actually want a challenge, you should probably just stop wearing half your armor and do it that way. Or you could just try and speed run through it and unlock the ability to actually give yourself a challenge.
Good advice. Grant Suitors asks, Vita is 3
Suitor?
years... Suitors. Plural.
Okay.
It's 2 suitors.
He's one of the suitors.
He's one of the
He's
suitors.
Suitor 50, I think.
He's
Suitor 1, Suitor 2.
Asks, Vita is 3 years old. Thoughts on the system and best games on it?
The indie ones. I think the Vita is an amazing system, but the only good games are the kind of Rogue Legacy just came out on it, and there's actually a really good selection of indie games on it, but the actual
if only
AAA
Colin
Vita
Moriarty
games
was here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But what was that Velocity?
Oh, 2X. Yeah,
that was great.
That was really good.
There's been a semi-steady stream of great games.
Yeah, if you own the system in conjunction with other systems, there's enough stuff to play. But it would suck to just be a Vita owner for sure.
Mm. Yeah, I don't think there'll be another Sony handheld after this
for a while. I think handhelds, honestly, there's a sort of time to say, all right, Nintendo. We'll let
shut
you
the
have
fuck
this.
up. The
We'll
3DS is the only system I play.
I'm saying we'll let you have this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout it.
The
Little
Vita
Mr.
was
Angry Pants.
such a good thing, though. Technologically speaking.
Yeah, it's a great machine.
It's interesting that we're talking
great
about
machine.
it in past tense.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's like the Concord. I mean, I wrote about this ages ago. It's like the Concord. They don't use that anymore. And everyone's just gone back to regular old planes. It's like this machine had 2 sticks. It was awesome. And no one made games that fully exploited it. So now we're playing great games on it. that we're getting a big screen and all that sort of stuff, but they're not games that couldn't be done on a phone.
Yeah, but guess what? Resident Evil Revelations 2, 7 out of 10 over here. It's coming out on Vita, not the 3DS.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
So that's a little win.
And also,
Well, so
like,
3DS is 320
Won't
by
play it.
240 resolution. Like,
Yeah.
also not handled by Capcom, handled by Sony.
There you go.
All right, last question. I think we're going to wrap up. Alex McKay, and I'm. This is a question that I actually don't understand at all.
so
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Is Cam Shea a contender for Evolve Monster DLC, or is he Hank's
That
brother?
would be awesome.
Is Baker an MKX nerd or just a sick puppy?
So Cam's the monster, we're the hunters.
Yep.
4-on-1. What would your attack be?
well, that's the thing. I mean, I guess we'd have to. I guess
Borderline sexual
I'd have
harassment.
yeah, like I'd fuck you in your blowholes.
Okay, so we're four hunter dolphins.
I'd blast 118 BPM deep house at you.
Yeah.
What other stereotypes are there about me? So I'd throw cards at you. I don't know. Yeah. I like the idea though.
Who is? And so Hank's one of the.
I guess maybe actually, you know what?
hunters,
I'd just probably just shout. I'd probably just shout at you.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
decibel attack.
Yeah, it's a decibel attack. That's it.
I love Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat X. That's So I'm.
What about Mortal Kombat XXX?
I'd be down for that.
So that makes you also a sick puppy.
Yeah, I mean I could be.
So
both.
it's kind of both.
I could do both.
Yeah.
I've got multifacets, which will be apparently.
You're
raised
layered.
by the
You're like an
Evolve Monster
onion.
DLC.
Multifacets.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. What's the last one? Are we
I-
not doing that one?
No, I want to do this one because I really love this.
What's the last one?
Because Colin Roy asks, what length should a game be? But also, what's the ideal girth?
Great question.
And that, I think, actually gets to the nub, as it were, of like a lot of our discussions, which is like length is kind of a moot point. Like girth is actually the key thing because that's the gameplay depth. That's like the.
Are you telling me that game fans are a bunch of size queens these days, and they should be really focusing on the girth of the gameplay?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying girth. I want something that I can get my hands around.
What
you know
good's
what
a fucking 50-hour gameplay if it's this thin,
Yeah.
weird, noodly thing that
Yeah.
can't stand up on its
I want to get fucked by a game that's shaped like a Coke can. It's true though.
My.
I think that. I mean, we talk about the order earlier, and
It's got no girth.
It's not very long, and also, no girth.
Yeah.
So it's like a.
It's
like
a chode.
pencil.
It's a chode.
pencil.
It's
It's
a
a chode.
gaming chode.
No,
So-
it's not a gaming
no,
chode.
it's
It's an
not a
asparagus
chode.
stick.
It's an asparagus
It's an
stick.
asparagus. Well, it's
The
like a
spaghetti
small.
noodle.
It
A
makes
little
it-
thin little asparagus stub. There's a stub.
Is it true that IGN will be removing the number
The
system
podcast.
and then
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
fact.
5 minutes into this
Fact.
episode, yes, it's been removed.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a serious answer, but it doesn't matter about
No,
that
it's
so
not
much.
the
about
it's
the quality.
not the meat. It's the motion. It's,
Oh, hello.
It's what you do with it.
Oh
Yep.
dear.
Oh my god. It's not the wand, it's the magic you make with it.
Yep. Yep. Let's go out with one final scene of Mary Jane and Spider-Man.
Oh, no, it's Uncle Ben and
No.
Spider-Man.
Wait,
you're Spider-Man.
we'll go out with that. We'll wrap it up. Thank you very much for listening/watching Pubcast 111. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much, Luke.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spidey. And Mary Jane. And we will leave you with a little bit of Aussie Spidey
Aussie Spidey.
and NZ Mary Jane. From now, go.
Oh, Mary Jane, you're a top Sheila. Nah, dead set. I wish I could tell you who I actually am, but I can't because, masks.
Well, I mean, that's a real shame, eh? Because I honestly just thought that you were going to give me the gold.
Mate, if it was the year 2000, I would give you the gold for 2 weeks straight on an international set. I haven't got this. You know what? Give it to Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, mates.
See you next time.
We're not high-fiving at the end
We're not doing
anymore?
a freeze frame
Thank you.
anymore.
We have to do the freeze for now. Well, now it's awkward.
Quick,
Now
quick,
it's ruined.
quick, do it!
Double 5.
Woo!
Have you ever
guys, have you heard the buzz?
What buzz? Why are you talking like that?
The buzz coming from my pants.
Isn't that your phone ringing? Maybe it's someone calling to tell you to stop speaking like such a little dickhead.
Ha! That's not my phone, folks. Check this out. Ta-da!
Yep, it's a vibrator.
That's right.
Did you just pull that out of your butt?
Ask me anything, guys.
Okay, why are you showing us this thing?
Didn't you guys get the email from Cam? Apparently he's keen to start merchandising the podcast, specifically into the sex toy market. He wanted us to come along this week armed with ideas. My idea is simple. It's an MP3 playing vibrator that vibrates along with each episode of the podcast. The louder the podcast, the more violently this little baby rattles around. You should feel it whenever Cam starts shouting. This thing starts revving at 123 BPM.
What? Have you been mushrooms again? There's no way Cam would want us to start making sex to...
Hey guys, look what I did!
Wait, for f***'s sake, is that a Pubcast branded fleshlight?
Yep, I call it the Pubcast Stubby Holder.
Stubby holder? Speak for yourself. I'm more of a long neck type of guy.
And that's not all. It comes with an optional testicle warming attachment that I like to call...
Let me guess. The Pubcast Mailbag.
No. It's the super stretchable skin-like scrote snuggie.
Nice one. You put a nylon baggie over your balls while you rub on out. Super stretchable skin like scrote snuggie. I mean, it just works, you guys.
This is insane. Who's going to buy this shit?
Who's going to buy it and use it while listening to the Pubcast? It's so creepy.
Creepy? I think not. In fact, a recent study of audio streaming behavior has shown that 90% of listeners like to grip it and drip it, so to speak, while they listen to their favorite podcasts.
What? Like, who did the study?
Spotify?
That's not a real thing.
Up. I've made my decision, and my decision is final. When it comes to making sex toys, Lucy, it's dildo, not dildon't.
Actually, it's pronounced dildo.
Silence, dildo baggins! Okay, Tristan, the stubby holder looks okay, but what else have you got?
A rubber hand modelled after Hans Bratwurster's fist. I call it the Buttwurster.
Not bad, not bad. Could play well with our German demographic. Let's see them count the polygons in a loosened Arschenschlock. Ha! Classic! Okay, Baker, my balls are in your court.
Well, what about this thing?
That's just a plastic dolphin.
Yeah, a plastic dolphin you can shove up your ass.
Oh, yes, that's perfect for the Pubcast. Simple, smart, synergism, synergism, sperm whale, dolphin, blowhole, blowjob, Steve Jobs. Money. This is great, you guys. We're really brainstorming some awesome stuff here. Lucy, go get a big sheet of butcher's paper.
What, to write all your great ideas on?
No, to protect the carpet. I need to stress test all these prototypes before we go into production. And it's going to get messy.
Oh, gross.
Hold on, Cam. There's just one more thing.
Oh, no. That isn't a...
Yes, it is. Behold, a fully articulated sex robot modelled on the Pubcast's own Lucy O'Brien. Gentlemen, Lucy, I give you the Robo-Lobo.
You haven't.
Completely voice-operated. Check this out. Robo-Lobo, enter flirt mode.
I dropped breakfast on my trousers. I am an adorable klutz sometimes.
This is sick.
Robo-Lobo, enter sex mode.
Oh, yeah. Do it. Give me the gold. Give me the gold.
I love it!
You're all insane. This is so fucked up. You can keep your filthy toys and seedy scrotum sacks.
No, it's super stretchable.
I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving. Luke, you're coming, right?
I don't know. The Pubcast stubby holder is kind of neat.
Well, here, take it and go fuck yourself. Goodbye.
Do you think she's ever going to come back?
I think our little kiwi bird has flown the nest for good this time. Oh, shit. Who's going to host IGN News today?
Robo-Lobo here with IGN News. Popular game maker Ken Levine has said give me the gold. Give me the gold.